Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. If you guys want to go and double tap the screen, comment, interact, have good people in here. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Oh, man. RC? Who? RJ? I don't know who that is. RJ? What's going on, everyone? If you guys want to go ahead and double tap the screen, if you're on TikTok, let's get some people in here. The more you guys interact, the more likely we are to get on the For You page. If you guys are over on YouTube, hit that like button. This is a communal effort here, okay? This is a group effort to bombard the chat. The Dude Collective. It's nice. Are we ready to rumble? We're always ready to rumble. I'm actually up this morning. $111 grocery bill. Yeah, Jesus. I mean, that's cheaper than a lot of times I go. But that's fucking... Walmart apparently is going to raise their prices in response to the tariffs. Walmart is raising prices. I thought grocery prices were supposed to go down. What happened? What happened to grocery prices going down? Suddenly they're okay with grocery prices going up. It's weird. It's weird. Here is the cheat sheet for understanding MAGA. If it goes up, the stock market goes up, good. The stock market goes down, good. Does it make sense? No. Are you getting it? I think so. All right, what's going on, everyone? I don't know. Do I have any mods in here? Do I have any mods in here? Nar? No mods. I think Jaden's gonna join. Just give me a second. I'm waiting on Jaden to join. If you're in the box debating, just give me a second. Jaden will be in here in just a second. Remember to breathe when rightfully crashing out. Up is the new down. Yeah. My nose. Anyway, what's going on, everyone? If you guys want to go ahead and double tap the screen over on TikTok, help get some people in here, I would appreciate it. Second. We must breathe before we crash. Thou must breathe before thou crash. Okay. Alright, cool. If you guys are debating, hop in the box. Alright, I'm gonna let this person in, and then if they're doing some weird shit, they're gonna go. Almost lost my nose. Give that back. Okay, the guy didn't join. Alright, what's going on, everyone? If you guys want to double tap the screen, comment, interact, Jaden's gonna join in just a second. Let's go ahead and get the news up. Let's get the news up. I try to let the person in, but whatever. So, U.S. Supreme Court to hear Trump bid to restrict birthright citizenship. Oh, is it going to go through? I don't think so. I don't think so. What was I looking up this morning? One second. Missing camper found alarm. Alright, so let's see really quick. So Walmart's supposed to fucking bump up sales here. How much are they supposed to increase prices? Interesting. First quarter profits slipped. The nation's largest retailers posted strong quarterly sales to theirs and said it expected sales growth of 3.5 to 4.5% in the second quarter. So their profit slipped. Okay, how much are we raising? Okay. Okay, well, I don't... What the fuck? Okay, Walmart has built-in hedges against some tariff threats. Two-thirds of Walmart merchandise is sourced in the U.S., with groceries driving much of that. Groceries account for roughly 60% of Walmart's U.S. business. So they source almost all their groceries in the U.S. for a significant portion, which you would expect. You wouldn't expect that they would import a shit ton of stuff, but also Walmart's produce is pretty fucking terrible. But yeah, we could expect that. But that would mean that only a few percentage points of everything else is being sourced within the United States. So, like, yeah, our grocery prices aren't really gonna go up like that, but everything else is. Literally everything else is. Physical sales are up. Yeah. E-commerce rose 22%. Okay. But yeah, they are going to raise prices. So basically everything that's not groceries was going to get a price increase. That's the way that works out too. 1 second. So that's basically the way that works out. Interesting. See what's happening on the foreign side. Oh, okay. Talking about war in the Taiwanese Strait. It's a possibility. Yeah, we know. We know. Anything else? Any other questions? Birthright case. I want to see this actually. Okay, what's this case over? Blocking birthrights is national. Several of the court's conservatives seem open to citing President Trump on the idea that the lower courts went too far in blocking his birthrights as an executive order. If they do this, they will destroy their credibility. If they do this, I mean, I'm going to be real. If they do this, the Supreme Court has no legitimacy. People across the board are just going to abandon their decisions. They'll lose credibility. And like, this would be a disaster. Peter says the merits and Trump's order could get back to the Supreme Court in short order. See, this is what the Supreme Court's fucking doing. And this is what's actually frustrating, is they go, oh, we're going to allow it for now. Because, you know, we haven't really seen it implemented, so we don't know if it violates the Constitution. They do this all the fucking time. And they allow it to happen. And then some batshit crazy shit ends up in their fucking court case, or in their chambers, and they're like, oh, he didn't mean for that to happen. It's like predictable but batshit crazy every single time. This guy's not. What did we kick Rando in space for yesterday? What did Rando in space get kicked for yesterday? I thought he was really dumb. I thought he really wasn't bright. No, I don't remember. Anybody over on YouTube? But yeah, it looks like they're trying to do that. They're like, well, you know, we haven't seen anything unconstitutional. Just like on its face, it's fucking unconstitutional. We don't need to wait for a court case to make it back there. This is like the Republican move. Like, oh, we'll wait and see what happens, and then, you know, when it comes back, then we'll address it. And then they have to address it, and they're like, oh, that was fucked up. And then they overturn the fucking executive order. This is very clearly, and it looks like fucking Barrett is the one that's going to might join in opposition to the Trump administration. This is like, if they do this, they're just going to destroy their credibility in the court. Like, if they do that, they're just destroying credibility. I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know the facts of the case to that degree, but is it just they're just challenging the executive order with nobody in actual standing, which they can do. But What's up, Paige?
Yeah, I've been listening to it. It's not really, in my opinion, they're not really getting anywhere just yet.
So they're
Good morning.
okay. Good morning, Paige. So they're not like you know,
They're just
yarnar.
asking, just asking questions and
Okay, well, hopefully they don't fuck around. What
what's
did
that mean?
Rando? Really? Why did I kick Rando in space yesterday? Does anybody remember?
I wasn't he the one that was just kept going on about the jet, and you were like, yeah, no, stop talking about
Oh
it,
yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah.
eventually he did stop talking about it.
Ah. Oh yeah, is he the one that caused me to crash out? I think so. I was trying to pull that video, honestly.
It was good. That's worthy of a YouTube.
Yeah.
Tommy crashes out.
Tommy crashes out. Yeah. Yeah, I think that I was trying to download it to save it, and it was not working. I don't know why. I don't know, but
Oh,
oh, James
Jaden's here.
comes in.
Hi.
Good
What's up,
morning.
James?
Morning. Had another gig last night. Went pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty satisfied with it, yeah.
Huh.
Got some really ethereal shots here. It's not
I got
bad.
two
Nice.
dudes. Nice. Oh, I guess break for you. I got two dudes. One's dumb. The other one I don't know.
Young, dumb, and full of cum. Send him in.
Well,
I think about this often. Some of the lyrics from our time growing up would shock Gen Z. Fucking Marshall Mathers, Kim.
Oh,
Hello?
oh,
How old are you?
oh. Doesn't matter.
Hello?
Yeah, it
How old are
does.
you?
Get out,
It
loser.
does.
He's a kid.
Oh,
Fuck off.
sounds like it. I don't know. Maybe he had a hormone disorder or something. I don't want to. I gave him the option to answer. But for now. Hello?
Morning, guys.
What?
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to give a quick take on I heard you talking about the Supreme Court. I actually don't think that any attention at all has to do with the birthright citizenship thing. I think they use that as a ploy to make sure it would quickly get, brought up to the Supreme Court, just for the fact so that they can argue and have some further clarification on the lower district courts being able to stop make a nationwide injunction and do all that. So I actually don't see it as anything to do with birthright citizenship other than being the vehicle. Because going back all the way to Obama, we have district judges that have shut down president's executive orders, Obama, Trump, Biden, and I think that they're trying to remediate that. In my opinion, I could be completely wrong. I just wanted to give you my take on that and let you think about it and think what your thoughts are or whatever.
Paige, you listen to it, right? What are your thoughts? Or listening to it?
I wouldn't totally disagree, but I would have to hear more, quite honestly.
I agree with that, actually. And so if I was to be stating this opinion from the position of, I didn't vote for Trump, I would totally think that he's the devil and he doesn't want babies to be citizens, right? But from the standpoint of, what the
I don't think it
right side
does.
thinks, I don't think
Yeah.
it has anything really to do with the immigration of children. I think they're trying to get clarification so that these judges can't just continually block Trump, which is beneficial to Trump now, but it can be beneficial to a Democrat later as well. Kind of, hey,
Wait,
look.
how is questioning birthright citizenship help him unless he's trying to
Oh.
Because it's a constitutional thing, and it
well,
will be
right,
brought
but
quicker
how
to
does
the
that help
Supreme
him
Court.
unless he's trying to deport people that are legal citizens or have birthright citizenship?
It helps him by getting further guidance on the rest of the executive orders, right? So to set some type of a precedent and to have the argument brought. Now, this argument would have took a lot longer if they wouldn't have attached it to something of such high importance, such as birthright citizenship, which I believe in, and I believe that if you're born here, you're a citizen. So
What does the case have
that's
to
what I
do
honestly
with?
believe.
Does the case involve a specific facts, or is it just a general challenge to the executive order?
It's a general challenge that was brought up, in my opinion, to be used very intelligently as a vehicle to get a different issue in front of the Supreme Court very quickly.
What's the other issue?
The district court judges, one judge being able to shut down things across the whole nation.
Yeah, that's a standard practice. It depends on the
That's
merits of the
only
case.
since
It
Obama,
depends.
though. Right.
No, no, that's the way it's always been. Federal court judges have the ability to rule on things. You're moving around a lot. Things. They have the ability to move. JD, if you're not going to join, you're going to get blocked. That's your last chance to join. Um, so, yeah, that's kind of the deal.
Well, on the Republican side of things, which you're correct, but they fucked around and they weaponized it under Obama. That was their way to push back. And then in turn, it's just like, when you pull that nuclear option, when whatever fuck, doesn't matter which side weaponizes what first, the next side's going to do it. And then in perpetuity, it just continues on. So I think that, and it's just as my opinion, I could be completely way off base, but from everything that I've listened to, that
So
I've,
I'm not.
I
I just want to point out, I'm not sure, but nationwide injunction, nationwide stops on things have been pretty common. Um, as far as I know,
since
for a long
Obama,
time.
yes.
I don't know. Well, no, even before that, I don't know to the degree. I don't know what the legal standard is for applying a nationwide injunction. I'm sure there's some
Sure.
credential for it, but I don't know.
Well, it teeters into, I think the arguments they're trying to make is that instead of having a nationwide judge do it, it's more like make it a civil action kind of like case, like a civil action lawsuit. But then at that point, then the state's not able to represent people in state or in civil, where everybody comes together like that and brings a case. So it's a lot of gymnastics, and I think they're going to fail on what they want to fail on, which is the birthright citizenship. I don't think they actually give three shits about that. I think they care about the precedent that this could set, given further guidance for, is district court judges stepping beyond their means? Like, are they making a 4-hour decision on a case that they should have reviewed for 3 days before they could have made? Do you know what I'm saying? I think there was one here recently, a company that was just in front of the Supreme Court where they actually ruled in favor of this because after 3 hours of getting a case from, I think it was an insurance company, they had basically said that 3 hours wasn't enough time for a judge to actually look all of this over and then to issue that injunction. There was no way they could have done that with any type of intellectual honesty. It had to have been done on a belief or parties or, partisan, whatever kind of system you want to, some kind of long held belief. But, yeah, I think at the end of the day, what'll happen is it's going to lose the immigration. I think the 14th Amendment will be upheld, all that. Like, none of that'll change. But I think what you're going to see from this is that every president, including Trump, and then every president from him moving forward, it's going to be very much more difficult. Yes, it's still like a vehicle for these things to be challenged in court, but not just willy-nilly as a weapon, right? Like literally every single executive order to be, brought in front of the judge and all of that, and then
Right,
that judge
but
be able to make a decision for the whole country.
But you're aware that so here's the problem with doing that, with removing nationwide injunctions, and I agree that they've been abused to the degree, and so if you could find a way to circumvent this, that would be swell. But if you don't have nationwide injunctions, then you kind of have situations where things are forced to the Supreme Court, as to where the Supreme Court can't just be like, okay, we're going to hear it, or we're going to the Supreme Court. So this is why it's kind of interesting, is the Supreme Court can look at a case and hear it and go, no, we're going to hear it, no, we're not, right? And I know that this has a lot to do with shadow docketing or whatever, and I don't agree with that process, but the Supreme Court can go, hey, we're going to vote, we're going to take this case, right? And so if the Supreme Court agrees with an opinion that's a nationwide injunction, right, then they can just go, we don't want to hear it. And then it's applied to the states, right? And so in this instance, how do you circumvent that? If you have two district federal district judges saying two completely different things, then you
Yes.
end up with this patchwork across the country of like these really high profile whatever, and you end up with different outcomes. And then the Supreme Court could be forced to take this case, as opposed to where they could just issue a thing saying, no, we'll hear it to overturn it, or no, we're not going to hear it because we agree with it. And so I think that
I
that's
agree
kind
with
of
you.
the,
Yeah, I agree probably about 99% with you on this. And I would say that I don't know the answer to the question that you asked. Like, how do you alleviate to make sure that this is used properly and not weaponized against anybody, whether it was Obama, Biden, Trump, whoever it is moving forward? And I don't know that there's an easy answer to that. I don't know if maybe they have some kind of three-judge
ah,
panel, or do you know? I don't really know the answer to that. Like, how do you get
Gotta
to the
do something
point to
about
where
that.
it's fair and equitable versus like, hey, we just don't like you, you know? But I just wanted to give that quick take. I didn't want to eat up a bunch of your time or anything like that. I really think it's not so much they're going to argue and pretend that it's about birthright citizenship, but really I think the underlying issue is Trump doesn't like for himself, obviously, but then it could be applied to, you know, future presidents moving forward, that everything that he does, whether, you know, it has basis or not, to say like, hey, this is kind of fucked up, you probably shouldn't be doing this. But there are things that aren't that fucked up that are within his powers that's getting that same treatment. So I think that's what he's trying to attack. I think that's what this is really about. Also, sometimes I think I'm a complete fucking dumbass idiot and have a completely wrong take on things. So I mean, I'm open to being wrong, but that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean they are. They're asking a bunch of questions, and it seems like what they are doing is like, okay, well, how can we best attack this if it comes back up, and we need to take a case in the lower courts, but how would it work? So yeah, it's not a lot there thus far, in my opinion. Just a bunch of questions.
and
Noah.
I agree.
Noah, interesting build, bud. Interesting build. You
But
look
yeah,
like
hey,
you want to do a
thanks for
porta
letting me up.
potty. Anyway,
Yeah,
appreciate
some
it.
people
Good
say-
talking to you guys, and enjoy the show. You know, we may disagree on a lot, we may agree on some, but I always enjoy listening and stuff. And thanks for
You know,
always being
I
cool
actually
and
think it's
pretty
the other
well
way
respectful of
around.
me.
You know, I think
that?
once we get out of the shittiness of it all, I think we agree a lot more than we don't. But thanks for being respectful.
Both sides. I actually agree with that, Jaden, so much, and I think it's both sided. I think once we can have a normal ass person in office, right? And all of the vitriol and all the shit that's attached to people, like the personal feelings they have for the person, I think once that goes away, I think on both sides, I think that'll happen. I think we will naturally kind of come back together a little bit, but then that also goes to like the pendulum of time. You know,
Yeah.
it swings left, it swings right, you know what I'm saying? But I think that what's the most important for a lot of us during this is that if we can learn to just have like civil conversations, we're not necessarily going for gotcha, we're not name calling. I think that goes a lot further for all of us individually to kind of just grow as people, to be able to say, you know what, I vehemently disagree with everything this fucking guy's saying, but you know what, I'm gonna give him the space to talk. I ain't gonna talk down to him. I ain't gonna do all these different things, and unless they start it, like, hey, don't start no shit, won't be no shit. But you know, regardless of that, I agree with you. I think that once Trump's gone, and there'll be some aftershocks for a few years, you know, on both sides. But I think, you know, a decade from now, we'll look back, Democrats, Republicans, independents, everybody, and be like, holy shit, what the fuck happened to us as a people for
Yeah.
15 years? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, well, thanks for having me, guys. I'll hop out, and you guys all have a good day.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
All right, see you guys.
There's a major difference in that. Papa Wheelie, I purposely waited because I didn't want him to go on. Is the history books aren't going to be kind to you guys.
Oh yeah.
All like school books, I don't even think they'll be very kind to you guys. But
No, I mean, like, what are the history books gonna write about this? I'm under the like, you know, okay, so like maybe once a week I have this thought. It's actually more than that probably, but like I'll just be laying in bed thinking about like, fuck, this is all fucked, and I'm just like, I don't really think there's a good way out of this. And I don't think there's a survivable way out of this. Gotta be real with you. I think it's all bad. When I look at it, it's like, if he keeps going down the path that he's going, we're fucked. That's just sort of my take. And I don't really think there's a fixing it. And yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of what I think. It's kind of what I think, and we'll see what happens. But that's the deal.
Yeah,
Well, anyway, if you're debating, hop on in the box. Would appreciate it. That'd be cool. Stop watching MSNBC. Literally, don't
we
at
don't.
all. And I'm literally inviting people, and they're refusing to join, which is fucking awesome.
No, because they're crybaby little bitches.
I know. And then they're praising the stock market went up. Who caused it to go down? Who caused it to go down? Let's be so for fucking real right now. Okay, who caused that to go down? Oh, was that was Trump. Boy, that's crazy. Give it a fucking credit for it going down and credit for it going up. It's fucking wild. That's some abusive relationship shit. Well, he beats me because he loves me. He doesn't beat me because he loves me. You know, look, he didn't beat me because he loves me. He beat me because he loves me. Oh my god. Fucking this abusive relationship shit they got going on. Oh man.
MAGA loves roller coasters.
Hey Dennis, appreciate it. Thank you. Dennis, appreciate it. JD Vance going to Pope's inaugural mass. The Pope Slayer. The Pope Slayer should not be allowed anywhere near him. We got Pup Slayer. Which is Gnome. She's nutso, by the way. I watched her thing with Swalwell. She's fucking crazy. She's insane. She needs to be fucking medicated. That bitch is fucking Axis Sally if I ever saw her. Okay? Jesus Christ. JD Vance going to Pope's inaugural mass. The Pope Slayer should not be allowed anywhere near him. He's looking for his next victim. Oh my god. Looking for his next victim. This is depressing. That build's depressing. Why does it look like... Why do you run like that? Looks like he runs like this. Alright, if you're debating, hop in the box. Chrissy Nome is nice though. She's crazy. She's crazy.
Yeah. So is Pam Bondi.
They all
She
are.
sounds like a North Korean general when I hear her. Oh, it is so great the job you've done in this first 100 days. No president, shut up.
You mean in a week you have to be to have everybody in your fucking administration glazing you? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just fucking
How fragile your ego must be.
Just a full-blown bukkake in the fucking White House every day. Just a full-blown glaze sesh every fucking day. God damn it.
Let's
It's a little early in the morning. What?
Let's count how many bukkake moments happen every day.
The daily bukkake. We should make that a fucking publishing thing. That did the Republicans glaze Trump today. Fuck. It's fucking so true. It's so true. It's so fucking true. They just overhear, oh my god, everything he does. The big beautiful bill. It's fucking, what the fuck? That's so cringy.
The big beautiful bill.
I mean, Donald
that
Trump
big,
gives off.
beautiful bill adds 2.5 trillion to the deficit.
Why does really quick? By the way, I have a question. Why does Trump always say shit like it's a fucking? He tries to like the way that he markets shit is like very 90s, right? Like they're trying to sell me fucking. They're trying to sell me like fucking like green Heinz ketchup, you know, or purple ketchup, like some fucking. Look at it. It's like a fucking Billy Mays moment every time the guy it's big, it's beautiful, it's wonder. People tell me all the time. It's like, what the fuck? Get some bigger words, some diction. Fuck.
Get your 95 Honda Civic right here.
I think we need to make.
It's very fast.
I think we need to make illegal infomercials because infomercials have created this problem, or at least cringy ones. You know, we need to get rid of those. We gotta have a board that's literally like, nope, too cringy. America's too dumb. They'll think this is fantastic. It's a wonderful time.
We have Cartman in the box.
Huh?
Cartman, can I add him?
Wait, who? Cartman, sure.
Okay, Cartman.
What's up?
Hey there, Carbon. You doing okay? Okay.
Who's gonna be in charge of what's cringy or not? Is it you guys?
That's not Carbon's voice, okay?
Is
This
it you
is
guys
cringy.
who's gonna be in charge of what's cringy and not?
No,
Sure.
it's gonna be your mom.
Because you guys are cringy. Is this what
Okay.
you do all day?
Yeah, I know you think
No.
that's Squeaker, but here's the deal. No.
Is this what you do all
You
day?
fucking guys are super cringe. I'm sorry. Did I say you could speak? That's fucking wild. Why are you so fucking triggered? Do you want a fucking cupcake? Do you want a hug?
Nobody's triggered, bro. I'm
Do you
asking
want
you. Is
you
this
want
what
you want
do
your
all
dad
day?
back? You
Again,
want your
no.
dad
Does that
back?
answer your question? Do you
Your
have a
dad ran
follow-up?
away. I'm sorry. I can't help you. Be nicer. It's okay. You'll be
Okay, so what's your definition of fascism?
Far-right palingenetic ultranationalism.
He said
Okay,
what?
would you agree that the 14 characteristics
not.
of nationalism match it pretty well?
The what?
Match
The
what?
14 characteristics. You mean the 14 characteristics of fascism by Umberto Eco?
Oh, did I say nationalism? Sorry, yeah, fascism.
Yeah. I would say that they link pretty well, but I would say that there's some qualifying factors, and there's also scholars that wouldn't agree.
Well, how do you feel about that personally? You.
The 14 characteristics of fascism, I think, lay a decent framework, but I don't think it really captures the essence of what fascism is, just what it does and what it mutates into.
Okay, well, dude, you're a lot better than Jaden, so I'm gonna talk to you. I think
What'd I
that you
do?
can look at it objectively
Jaden
and
didn't
realize
say
that that was
anything.
written obviously in the 21st century.
Hey, no, excuse me. What'd I do?
We're in the
I don't like
21st
it.
century.
You're rude to people. Jaden's super rude to people. I don't like
I've
him.
barely been here.
Dude, I've seen you all the time. You're weird.
What?
You do this all
just
the time.
came
This is
in
like
here
the first
calling
time
us
I've ever hopped up
cringe
here,
and
you
asked us
guys
if
are
that's all we
weirdos.
do.
I can't believe you do
And
this
now
all day.
I'm the... What am I doing? I don't do this all day. I was
Anyway,
literally
dude,
gone
I
all
think that
day.
you should look at the look at that
Wait,
more
no, don't
objectively.
disrespect me, you asshole. What the fuck did I do? In fact,
Hey, you
now
are
just
what
for
you eat,
that,
brother.
strap in. Tommy's not going to debate you. I will, okay?
Who's cringe
got?
now, Hartman?
Well, definitely not me.
What do you got? What do you want to talk about with fascism and how MAGA embodies it?
Yeah, I think that if you rely on those 14 characteristics, then you're a dumbass.
We aren't relying on just those 14 characteristics.
Okay, well, do you want to go over the 14 characteristics and
You just
how
said you didn't
they
wanna
match
rely on that,
literally
and now
all
you
of
do?
American history in every single government?
It hasn't been exemplified within every single government.
Let's go through. Let's go one by one. Let's go.
Okay, do you want to go machismo and weaponry?
No, I would love to go one by one down the list.
No,
Let's go one
Okay,
by one down
alright,
the list, and you tell me
I'm going
when
one by
America
one.
hasn't
It
Go-
didn't
imposed
say
one of
we
those
didn't
things.
say it had to be in order.
So has
machismo
America
and
always
weaponry.
been fascist? Is my question.
Bro, machismo and weaponry was the one I chose.
Okay, well, no. Listen, you can't. just,
Excuse
I'm
me,
not-
disdain for women and intolerance for sexual habits and homosexuality.
Yeah, that's. Listen, all Abrahamic religions are against that. So to claim that that is inherently fascist is crazy.
No,
But
give
not
you-
again. That's
Again,
not
it's
the
written
claim,
in the
though.
21st century. I
Wait,
hope
that's
that you can
that's
look
not
at it
the
objectively,
argument.
please.
That is not the argument, though. You said that we cannot rely on one single factoid within this this charter here to say that this in and of itself makes one fascist. Okay, it's a collective.
So do you think that Donald Trump and the MAGA movement encompass all 14?
Most.
I'd say so. Yeah.
But just
All
to be
14?
clear,
Okay, let's go through one
well,
by
I just
one.
want to clarify. Hold on, I just want to clarify really quick. Fascism does not require all 14. But yes, it has. They have I don't know, at least 13, 12, 13, 14. Having all of them isn't. It's not a. You need every single one of these to be fascist, but it's like if you start having like, okay, these are reoccurring themes, then yeah, because there's
Okay,
differentiation.
well, how
between-
many?
Wait, I am kind of
How many?
confused
How many
about
did
the rest of your
Obama
argument.
have? How many
I'm-
did the Obama
I'm
administration
just
show?
kind of confused
Like
by the
11 of the 14.
no, but I'm kind of
No.
confused by the thrust of the argument here. You're saying that if they fill out all of these pillars of fascism, that makes us dumbasses, and I'm just curious how many of them do they have to fulfill, or how much more would they have to fulfill to make this argument just?
I think that the entire ranking or breakdown of it is stupid. I think that it's obviously new and obviously tailored to a 21st century ideology and viewpoint.
Wait, what? Wait, the tenants are
It's
new?
not true. It's not truly what
Which parts do
fascism
you think are
is and what
stupid?
fascism has been.
Okay, how
fascism
do
has
you
been in
define
history.
fascism then? How do you define it then?
Well, we could define it. Who do you think would be a fascist leader in the past? And let's
I'm
use
just
their
asking,
definition. in
how
my
would you
opinion.
define fascism?
That I don't define. There's multiple different definitions. What is
Right.
my
What is the
my
definition you
matter?
abide by?
I would go by like what would be Mussolini's definition of it.
Okay. How did he define it?
Should I go grab it?
Yeah, let's get the
I have
exact
it, but
definition.
h-
So I
okay,
don't.
I'm
Well,
misquote
he
it.
asking
doesn't.
you
He
if you
doesn't
know
have
it.
I don't remember that he listed an exact definition in his actual the fascist doctrine. I don't know if he actually listed a list. The interpreter that transferred the language did, but he listed in multiple different times. But I mean, here's the problem. If you go with those interpreters' definitions, Maria something, I can't remember her name, then you'll find that, yeah, fascism matches up pretty close to what we're currently seeing. But even in reality, most scholars do not say that what Mussolini said fascism was is what it is. That was early on, 1924-ish. So he was still trying to develop and craft what fascism was. Really, it was just fascist reactionaryism. Like, it was just reactionaryism and violence and revolutionaryism. It didn't have anything to do with a specific ideology. Really,
Awesome.
at
So
that
thank
point,
you.
it was still morphing.
Wouldn't you agree then that
Well, there were
when I
tenets
go
that
back
came
to
through.
something like, let's just take Mussolini's definition, right? Something like that. And then we're using something like the 14 characteristics that we have to meet somewhere in the middle. Can you agree?
Well, I'm still
So
waiting on how you would define fascism or how Mussolini's interpretation was and how that aligns
It
with
doesn't
you.
matter. I'm saying the
It
14
does matter if you
characteristics
have
don't
contentions with
define
those
fascism.
14.
My argument isn't that I have the correct definition of fascism. I'm saying that the 14 characteristics are far too vague to use.
I understand that, and you've opted towards Mussolini's definition, which you've yet to provide
It doesn't
or distinguish
that's
from
not
how
my
that's
argument.
different from the 14
That's
characteristics.
not what I'm trying to prove wrong. I'm not trying to prove the definition of
Then
fascism.
what are you?
I was
Okay,
just hoping
you're
that you guys
trying
would
to
agree
prove the
that the
difference
14
between the
characteristics are a
14
moot talking
tenets.
point, in my opinion.
Right, but you are preferable with the Benito Mussolini definition of
Okay.
fascism because it's different from the 14 tenets, and I'm asking you what those differences are.
Can we just listen? I can pull up, like, I just want to point this out because this is like an interesting way that you've done this. Is you've like pigeonholed fascism into being one single definition, and then saying that definition is wrong because it's too vague. But you are the ones that's saying that we should have went off the 14 tenets. So I can
No, I asked
argue
you if
with
you
you.
did.
I mean, I can argue with you. I don't. The 14 tenets isn't what I would rely on to describe it to people, right? But
Right.
if you
So
want, we
then
can
I
go through
asked you.
point by point, and we can explain why, or not even explain, but just show you that these do not apply, generally speaking, to other people, other administrations. That these apply exclusively to the Trump administration and exclusively to MAGA. We can go through that if you want. But ultimately, you're pigeonholing us into a single definition of fascism, which I'm not even 100% convinced I would use to, like, it wouldn't be my first choice even to show people what fascism is, but we can go through it if you want.
I see why he didn't
So
want
do
to
you
talk
want,
to me.
do you want, I'm just confused. Do you want Mussolini's definition? Because he wrote a whole book with Giovanni Gentile about it. Or do you want
He doesn't know.
the 14 tenets? I'm not, you're
No,
debating Jaden, so I'm just
again,
I'm just trying to clarify here.
my only point in bringing this up is because I recently have done the dive on the 14 tenets, and I genuinely believe that they're extremely too vague, and you can basically assign them to Democrat leaders, Republican leaders, and I'm not like, a debate bro, but I hear it all the time. I hear the 14 tenets of, all the time. But then when you look into it, it's like, well, hold on. That's just America, bro.
No,
America's
hold
that.
on. Fascism is far right, so I don't know how you're going to go to the
So has
left.
America always been fascist is my question. Because based on the
No.
14,
No.
they are.
No,
No.
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 It is okay. Then you can't rely on the 14.
You said
No,
you
no,
didn't
here's
want to
the
rely on the
problem.
14. If you want to go off of
No, I just hope that
Mussolini's
low IQ
definition,
people
we
stop
can
using
do
that as a
that.
talking point.
Okay, then we can go off Mussolini's. Do you want to do that?
Sure.
All right, where do you want to start? How did Mussolini define it? Because that's the definition that you abide by, so go off of that.
Well, dude pulled it up.
I thought you had it.
Do you want?
No, I mean,
or at least
again,
a
I didn't come in
baseline
here to
understanding
debate.
of it.
I didn't come in here to debate.
Okay, that's fine.
I
So
just
he
came in
defined
here
it
to
in
say
four.
that if you're characterizing MAGA as a fascist movement based on the 14 characteristics of fascism that was written in 2003, then you're dumb.
I would
You
even
wanted
say
to
that
go
this,
off the 30s.
He just left.
iteration of
I
it.
don't under. This
Why did
very
you-
clearly. It's funny to me
sauce.
because this, like the 14 tenets of fascism, very aptly describes MAGA. I would not use this as the one to show people like this is what fascism is. I'd probably use like Jason Stanley's, or like I think Jason Stanley's is more in line with how I view on fascism. But just pointing to the 14 tenets, the 14 tenets is like a guidebook for people to understand a very complex and deep topic. So it's not meant to be exhaustive. It's meant to just be like, this is what fascism is. I think it's too complex for people because then they start falling into this thing of like, well, this is what fascism is, this is what fascism isn't. When you study fascism, fascism is a psychology. It is a way in which humans interact biologically. And fascism is an extension of that. We've seen it manifest throughout human histories, or things that are similar to fascism. But fascism is distinct, and then it emerged after the Enlightenment. It emerged within the system that we're currently in, and it emerged within Western democracies. And so
He claims
pointing
he claims he got reported. He didn't. I can still invite him. He ran.
okay.
We would have gotten the notification that you were reported.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
wouldn't
mean,
be
I can
able to
I can invite you if you were. So, but just the point that I'm pointing out is like, it's not how I would describe it. I don't think like, his definition is the most concise. I think, in my personal opinion, that fascism, and there's like a lot of evidence to support this, by the way, but my definition of it would be far right fanatical ultranationalism. And the reason for that is because of the psychological effect it has on people, the way that people act, and it's very distinct. Basically, like you think, for instance, MAGA, like they hold an insane amount of contradictions, right? Money laundering is bad. The Democrats are crooked and corrupt. Everybody over there is taking money. We don't know how they're doing it, but they're all corrupt. They're literally involved with billionaires and everything like that. They're stealing money, robbing the system, robbing us blind. They're fucking taking bribes. The list goes on. But when Donald Trump gets a $400 million plane, they're silent. They went on for 4 years about Joe and Hunter Biden being, taking money. They're silent in this regard. They went on about when the stock market crashed in 2021, right after Biden took office. Didn't even crash, just went down by like 700 points. They lost their mind. That's bad. Kamala Harris, if she'd have won, she would have crashed the economy, 1929 style. Trump comes in, destroys $11 trillion in wealth, and they're saying, well, this is for the good of the country. It is built entirely on just contradictory thoughts, cognitive dissonance. Doublespeak. That's republicanism. Is you have to hold contradictions to have fascism, and that's what they do. And just to point out, like, with the invention of the internet, right, it was that we were disproving them. But now you can just ignore. You can decide the facts and determine the truth on your own. It's like a pick your own adventure book with life. But I would not use your fascism, by the way, to describe fascism. I think it's like helpful for people trying to understand. But largely, fascism is just a psychological response to economic conditions getting worse and trying to figure out who to blame them. Look at Tyler gave us a self-portrait there. I invite him. I know he won't.
Oh, that was nice of him. Democrats are so easy to manipulate. By the way, gas is $1.98.
This guy said, "Oh, just shut up." No thanks. You're blocked now. Just for funsies. If you're debating, hop in the box. Would appreciate it. That'd be cool. If you guys want to support the channel, there's a Venmo Cash App in the bio. We have you can sub on YouTube, Patreon, or here. Patreon, I say, would the best place, especially if you guys want to support long term. And yeah, that'd be awesome. Would appreciate it. I'm not funded by Soros. I do have to go make some videos here in a few. So if you guys want to support, hop in the box and debate. Would appreciate it. And hopefully TikTok all gets sorted out. I guess there's a deal that's been reached from what I'm hearing behind the scenes, but I don't know. So can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Sean with the 5 over on YouTube? He read one thing in the 14 tenets and tried to rip apart one thing and was like, it's not fascism. I'm not in a cult. Yeah. That's what they do is like they pick one thing and attack it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't think that Cartman understands different brands of, like, that's the way I put it, of fascism. When he talks about Mussolini, of course he didn't have any idea. He couldn't define, like, oh, well, Mussolini's brand of fascism was XYZ. I don't know. It's really strange.
He also didn't seem to grasp that definitions are descriptive, not prescriptive, though either way he couldn't prescribe either one.
Yeah, that part.
So, how's everybody doing? Did you guys see Trump played the gay national anthem at Saudi Arabia the other day?
Yes. That was
What how they
wild.
felt about that? Can he not? What is up with that fucking song? Why does he like it so damn much?
I know. Get a fucking life, weirdo. What the fuck? It's actually
reminds
weird.
me
It's
of
actually
his-
creepy.
Disco days.
Just turn that shit off,
You
Grandpa.
can't fucking
He can't
fucking-
dance.
No,
He doesn't
not
do
to
the
save
fucking
his
motions.
fucking life. Fucking weird. It literally like fucking looking at fucking people dance in a retirement home. No, fuck it. They can dance better. You just fuck it. Stop. Fucking someone stop him. God damn it. Fucking terrible. Criminally bad. Criminally
Gonna rein
cringe. And he
in.
destroyed
Take the
that
keys away
fucking
from
song
Grandpa.
forever. He destroyed
Yeah.
Red Hats and fucking YMCA for literally ever. There's no bringing him back. Every time these guys fucking touch something, it's destroyed. Fuck.
It's true.
Facebook.
Is there anything he's made better besides my punching Nazi abilities?
No.
Oh, he's made it
Norm.
much easier to detect, like, racist, and
Oh yeah, that's true.
he's made that much easier.
We got
He
Hush
ruined
Puppy
Red
in the box.
Hats.
Were they a thing?
He ruined
prior?
Red Hats forever. No, I just like I don't want to see a fucking red hat now because I'm like, the fuck, back away, you fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? Anytime someone pulls up, it's like, what the fuck, you fucking weirdo. It's my thought process there. It's so weird. I don't see it very often. Like, I don't know about you guys. I don't see red hats very often, but it's fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. It's just like, and they always have like, this is true too. Like, some of his supporters are fucking cheap as fuck and don't even want to support him, and so they buy like knockoff ones that either look like shit or the lettering is super large and bombastic because somebody was jerking off while they were doing it, like more string, yeah, make it bigger. I don't fucking know. And so we got stuck with this just like big ass fucking bold lettering, just fucking weird shit, you know? Like, I literally saw this guy wearing a fucking like I mean, the lettering was this fucking big. And I was like, you're fucking might as well put I'm stupid on my fucking head, right? Because I'm willing to bet I fucking give you a civics test. Your ass ain't getting a single question right. Or you see the fucking weirdos that are wearing the fucking shirts are like, at least I didn't raise a liberal. Like, bro, fucking comedic shirts, leave them in fucking middle school, my bud. Like, you know what I mean? Fucking weird. They have Hush Puppy. I don't know if they're debating. You know what I mean? And it's always like not good. Like, if you're going to wear comedic shirts, wear something that's specific,
You
not
got an
just
echo.
cheap. Yeah, it's got to be like good comedy, not like cheap comedy. You know, it's got to be like, oh, that's clever. That's clever. Like, I saw a Muppet shirt at Disneyland, and I was like, that's clever. And I almost sent it to Jaden. But
Why
you
didn't
know,
you?
like it's gotta be. I don't know, because I didn't want to take a picture of the guy when I was in line. It was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like a huge Muppets
asked.
fan, and I was like, it's shirt made a joke about being the biggest Muppet fan, and I was like, I should send this to Jaden. But you know, like that stuff's okay. But like they always wear like cringy shit, like, hey, at least I didn't raise a liberal.
Oh yeah.
It's a fucking live. It's like It's like live, laugh, love, but for your fucking clothes. You know, for conservative men in their clothes. Two red hats. You're in a cult in Foxtrot Delta Tango. They ruin red hats forever. Literally forever. I mean, it's not like a lot of people wore red hats, but literally don't wear them. I don't know. I just fucking.
Hey, Josh.
Or it has to be an off red at the very least. Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
It's still then.
Y'all remember
Yeah.
you remember that scene in Waterworld where Kevin Costner, he takes that flare and he drops it down that tunnel into the battle oil, and the old man down in the tunnel, he's just like, "Oh, thank God." That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just waiting for it to all.
Oh, thank God.
I'm gonna be grateful when it does.
But didn't he say like thank you? What did that guy say again?
He goes, "Oh, thank God," and then the whole thing blows up.
Oh, he was over it. Yeah. Anyway, if you're debating, go ahead and hop on in the box. Would appreciate it. Out of these whole fucking. Everybody's a fucking. I fucking hate this timeline. This is the worst fucking timeline. This is the stupid people. This is the start of idiocracy. Okay, that's what this fucking is. This is the start of idiocracy.
That's supposed to be 500 years in the future.
No, it fucking did not take that long. At all. Narp, they got there fucking quick. They got there fucking quick. They said, hold my beer.
Walmart's raising prices
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
drastically too. They're not even fucking around. They're like, "Hey, nope, it's too much. We're not taking the hit." Although we just posted 4% profit for this quarter, we're not taking the hit, y'all.
Yep. Nope, they're going to jack prices up. And to be fair, well, I mean, it's not to be fair, but Walmart is like one of the cheaper retailers because everybody else is fucking crazy expensive. It's like hard to justify. Like, we have Safeway. I don't know if you guys have Safeway, but
Yeah.
oh, really quick. Wells, appreciate it. Thank you. Trump's double-handed jerking dance is perfect for the YMCA song. Wells, appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know if you guys have Safeway. They're fucking crazy expensive. They're crazy. It's so hard for me to fucking go to that store. It's like fucking. What the fuck? What's the Whole Foods? It's fucking expensive. And it's like every store's like that now, but like, I don't know.
Does Food
Why
Max
are
still
food
exist?
prices- Why are food prices so fucking expensive? I feel like it's
Anyone
all a
remember
scam.
Food Max?
I feel like it's all a
Never
scam.
even heard
Food
of
Max?
Food
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No Food Town.
Food Max, take it to the max. The maximizing shopping power. Food Max. That's a damn good jingle.
Yeah, Safeway's been.
We live at the
crazy
border. We got a lot of
expensive.
food towns around here. Food cities.
Oh, deodorant has gotten crazy expensive. Yeah. Fuck. I was like, what the fuck?
Mm.
Last time I went in, it was like $7 a fucking stick. I was like, what the fuck happened? And that happened quick too. Like, you know, like it's like what the fuck? Oh. Fucking America. Why is everything so expensive? I
Yeah, some
understand.
Safeways are unionized. They have unionized Safeways in Tucson actually, which Arizona's a
Some
right
of
to work
them-
state.
Well, some of them, yeah. But the grocers have unions, yeah. But like even so, like Kroger has unions. Well, Fred Meyer does, which is Kroger in the Pacific Northwest. But like so, either or of those stores, it's like one's like Fred Meyer's way cheaper, way cheaper, way cheaper. Bro is not Dean Withers. Bro, you're wearing it. You're literally having Arnold Schwarzenegger fucking picture. Bro's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. What the fuck? Weird. Anyways, if you're debating, hop in the box. Would appreciate it. See if we can get some debates in here. Don't be scared. It's okay. You can pick one person to debate if you want. If not, you know, you can just debate the panel. Fucking yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's just so. America's so expensive. I don't know. I don't even know.
Is
what
he
the
a
fuck it's
Trumper?
gonna-
No.
No.
He's
I
anti-Trump.
I didn't think so.
Nope, he's anti-Trump. He's
Republican.
been anti-Trump. Yeah.
Did
He's
you
the
guys see
same
that
as Republican.
video where that guy drop kicked him?
Yeah, he's still okay. He was all
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
He took that like a champ.
Well,
Not suggesting anybody try that. It was quite rude and undeserved, but for being as old as he is, he took that well.
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. I'm just looking for some shit.
So, has anybody seen the All right. It's the only AIs that I'll actually tolerate. Have you guys seen the baby AIs where they make the movies out of them?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
I think we
dude,
got a
love 'em.
debate.
I think they're hilarious. I think they're funny. I saw one of the Princess Bride. He was doing the inconceivable, and then he drank the poison and passed out. The little baby just goes doink off the side of the chair. It's fucking hilarious.
Small town, eh?
Hey, you
How's
hear
it
me?
going?
I tried that
Yeah.
in a small town. Nothing
All
happened.
right. I'm on the outside of things, looking in. I am Canadian, but I just want to connect a couple of dots because I have some concern for the American people. You know that Trump is hiding his past. He's doing his cover-ups to make sure you don't know about his involvement on a certain island with a certain Jeffrey. Well, congratulations, he's now getting the upgrade. Your new Trump Force One will be what is now the new Epstein Island on wings. Dolls is the new pizza. You understand? You can't stop saying dolls. Nobody can stop saying dolls. And he's getting this amazing fortress he wants.
Oh no.
You understand?
Oh my
Protect your
God, he's
children.
right.
That's all I'm saying. Protect your kids. I'm out.
He's onto something. I'll help you get out, but all right.
I'm glad he ended that for us, because that
Don't know what to
was.
say about that, but okay.
All right.
You spent some time thinking about that.
Should
Maybe take a
probably stop thinking
Yeah,
about
go
that.
hydrate. Go take a break.
Yeah, listen. So magnesium actually helps with sleep. So get you some magnesium supplements. And yeah. He was like, I'm out. Peace. I'm out. He's
Drop this truth bomb and leave in a puff of smoke.
There's that. All right. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. That was fun. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, does anybody like thinking about conspiracies? I was thinking this earlier. Does anybody find it coincidental the whole backing off from helping Israel, and the Qatar giving him a $400 million gift at the same time? Does anybody find that fishy?
We backed off?
We backed off helping Israel.
Yeah,
When?
and so many we've done so many things that has kind of like left Israel looking like the redheaded stepchild. Trump's redheaded stepchild.
I didn't see we backed off. Then again, I have been busy.
Did we? What do you mean they backed off? What is that?
I'm looking it up to give you the exact.
The normalization deal?
It had to do
He's
with.
just a fucking idiot.
It had to do with one of the reasons they were upset with us because BBC News, May 5th, 2025, America used to be steadfast in supporting Israel, no longer. It had to do with when he went in there to release the hostages, he didn't do any negotiation for Israeli hostages. He only did the American hostages, and they were pissed about that. And
Oh,
everything
yeah,
just
that
started
one.
kind of falling apart with that. And then all of a sudden, he backs off helping them, or giving them. What was. Let me find it real quick.
Are you talking about there was a deal that was supposed to be, we had talked about it previously. There was a deal that they were looking at reaching between Saudi Arabia and Israel. Right? And that
I'm
deal
looking,
looks like
hold
it's been diverted.
Israeli normalization takes backseat. Okay. Jaden, can we get more impressions? Hey, 666 viewers. What do you want to hear? Throw me a curveball. Oh, yeah. King of the Hill's coming back. Dang it. We're back on Hulu with a reboot. My shoe could use a reboot. It's a steel toe. I think it's activating the bunions there. Boo.
Woohoo. Anyways, if you guys want to support the channel, would appreciate it. There's a Venmo Cash App in the bio. You can support that way. You guys can send over gift goals if you guys help with the corgi and stuff like that. The coins or anything, it helps us get us out in the For You page, especially subs. So if you guys want to subs, you can gift subs as well on here, as you can on YouTube and Twitch. Help support, would appreciate it. But yeah, it does help us get
Somebody's
it out
in
to
the
more
box.
people. So
Keep yourself up.
pay
Yeah,
my
no,
bills.
wasn't he-
That's what Trump says, actually. By the way.
Wasn't Trump just talking about recognizing Palestine?
Nuh-uh. No way.
No, I don't
looking
think
for,
so.
man, I'm looking for it. I'm
Yeah,
really.
he was
I
talking
think he
about
said that, but I don't know that. Hello? What's going on?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
What's
I
going
mean-
on? What's your take?
Is MAGA a fascist movement? Probably.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they're doing a lot of corrupt stuff up there, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the AI. There's multiple sources refute the idea that Trump is about to recognize a Palestinian state. I mean, that's the AI thing on it, but right here, jns.org, no, Trump isn't about to recognize Palestine. There's no...
Yeah, you and heard.
Uh,
Is Trump
no, Huckabee denied it.
like this is the rumors that I'm hearing, I guess.
Was that-
It just seemed
wait,
like
wait, hold on.
coincidental that he was talking, or I'm hearing rumors about him recognizing Palestine, and then all of a sudden he's accepting $400 million from Qatar. That was my point.
Yeah.
Well, okay, my fault. I'd like to elaborate on what he said. I believe it was said to be that he accepted a $400 million plane, and he also made $600 billion worth of investments in Qatar and in Saudi Arabia.
No, he set up golf courses. He made a deal so
Shut
he could
up.
put golf courses up there.
Who's that?
Oh, okay.
Hey, what the fuck? Anyways, back to pop
That's weird.
culture.
He had his girlfriend. He had his girlfriend's sister over his
Yes.
shoulder, I guess.
It's embarrassing.
Like, I don't like that you told us the truth.
Yeah. Probably grabs him by the ear in
poor
public.
guy. Yeah, that poor fucking guy's got to get away from that fucking nutso.
Is he back? No, Kelly's in the box. I don't think she's debating.
Might be. I don't know. Okay. If
right.
you're debating, hop on in the box. Would appreciate it.
I came to the horrific realization last night that Shrek 5 is going to be coming out next year. And with that comes all the Shrek branding shit that's going to be stocking my grocery store. And I don't know that I'm ready for that again. I lived through all that shit, the 2000s and all that, and 2010s. And that shit's gross. Okay? It's going to be integrated to every facet of my life. I'm going to be paying my Shrektricity bill. And I don't want that. Shrek milk, Shrek Go-Gurt and shit, Twinkies, pies, all that shit. I can't do it anymore. I'm not ready for
People
it.
asking you to do the voice all the time.
Ogres! Yeah, I know.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
You know what? What did he say? He's like, not everybody likes onion, Shrek. You know what everybody likes? Parfait.
Parfaits.
Everybody likes parfaits. Everybody likes parfait. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside
You gotta have
me.
friends.
You
Stop
gotta-
singing.
Stop singing. What are you doing in my swamp? All right.
The Shrek ribbed condoms are gonna be a weird one.
Oh,
I'm not looking for-
Oh man. Oh god. There there are.
it's just got the reserve.
I
on
just
the
had a
side
weird
instead of
thought.
at the tip.
Somebody
It's onion scented.
wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on there, Shrek. Someone's gotta have you say nasty. They they gotta have some people gotta be in a role play on Shrek. And that fucking weirded me out.
Well, they are.
That freaks
People
me
have
out.
Shrek weddings.
Why did I just think about Funyun flavored?
Oh god.
I'm just saying that's gotta be a thing.
The taste of condoms. are
Your diet's ruined. I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. if ever you want to go on a diet or lose some weight, just think about Shrek roleplay. That does it for me. So,
Role playing Fihon.
oh my god. Yeah.
Human Fiona was she's pretty hot. For an animated character,
Then-
not bad.
Jaden's down bad. Apparently,
What?
Ohio Republicans
human
have
one.
introduced a bill to create heterosexual Pride Month, which basically just screams, we want to join Pride, but we're afraid of what our wives are going to think when they realize they're in a lavender marriage.
Typical.
I don't know why I would need a fucking Pride. I don't know how fucking soft you are. You need a fucking. Can you imagine all these weird fucking. Hold on a second. Let's think about a fucking straight Pride parade here for a second.
No, you know there is a straight flag? If they did come up with a straight flag?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I think it's black and white.
Of course it is.
What
You're gonna wear
what
khakis
is a straight-
and polo shirts.
I'll look it up. Hold
What
on.
does a straight Pride parade look like? By the way,
They
again, if
serve
you guys want to
skin
support
milk.
the Morning Live, would appreciate it. We are not funded by Soros. If you guys want to support on any one of the platforms, would appreciate it. Does help us keep live here. But yeah, and if you guys want, go over into YouTube and watch the videos all the way through, because helping boost it out and get it out to people so people see the lives. That helps too, ad revenue and whatnot. Hold on.
I'm assuming
All right,
drum beats and goose stepping.
Ska
No,
music.
no. Straight. Here's what a straight Pride parade looks like. It's a bunch of like overly baggy, like all dark camo pants, combat boots. What's some other shit that people? Combat boots,
Polos,
skateboarding shoes,
Khakis.
A shirts.
all black khakis, the fucking douchebag glasses. All of them have bedhead. There's not a single rhythm between them. They're listening to some weird shit, like Leonard Skinner, but it's all out of
They're wearing
sync.
trainers.
And they all shared the same toothbrush that morning.
For that one tooth.
Oh, and fanny
For that
packs.
one tooth. Fanny packs, right. It's musty. Oh, it's musty in there. Like a Walmart. It's
not
basically a walking Walmart, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have multiple people on scooters, just because they're trying to fuck. They're not actually there to. They're just like
Oh.
straight pride. Who wants to know? They think they're getting laid literally everywhere. So there's people riding dirty. What else do we got?
Oh, and the worst one of all, people that wear suits with baseball caps.
Oh, yeah. That's awful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think they would be that there. Jennifer, appreciate it. Thank you for the Cash App. Jennifer, appreciate it. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Jennifer? Appreciate it. For the 10. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, they always wear the same thing. Like or khakis, like cargo shorts with they always have the fucking either the Brooks or the eight, what is it? The what?
The Sperry's, the boat shoes. We call them boat shoes in Florida.
Yeah, and then or
Just picture Adam Calhoun.
the AS, what is it? The Asics or whatever, the running shoes,
Asics.
or Asics, yeah. Or my personal favorite, they're wearing the Under Armour, because that's what they'll wear. But I remember this is true because like I described that and then I thought back to this time I used to work at this place, and like when I drive home, sometimes there was this dude out there that had a giant ass sign that was like rallying against communism, and I was just like, I just kind of want to stop to talk to this guy. He never did. He's only out there a handful of times.
United.
And I was really, really too, I was like, I don't really want to talk to him like that. He's probably fucking weird, which he was, just for being out there holding a sign against communism. But he was like white, like, I don't know, blondish hair, black polo shirt, white undershirt, cargo shorts, fucking Under Armour fucking shoes. Because, why wouldn't he? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the type. You know what I mean? Like, I have Under Armour shoes, but, like, it's just they have a type. I don't have any cargo shorts or fucking military fucking pants. But it's just a type. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And,
Speaking of
but yeah,
which,
it's like, what prompts you to fucking go out there and hold a sign all fucking day like a weirdo?
I'm oppressed.
I think Ricky from Trailer Park Boys is in queue right now.
Oh.
We got Richie. Jennifer, again, appreciate it. Thank you. Andreu, appreciate it. Republicans want to dehumanize Haitians and brown people and then expect us to humanize white South Africans. It's a good point. They would just be migrants, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to add one last thing to this is pleats. Like pleated pants, like over pleated pants. They're cargo pants. Everything just has too many pleats in it. Don't do that, guys.
Heavy on the starch.
Heavy on the stuff.
Hello.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm doing all right. A little tired.
Holy shit, you actually sound like him.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, what the? Wait. Julian. Wait. I used to have the fucking accent right, or the fucking thing right. We're going down there to the fuck. I'll work. I used to have it fucking perfect. I can do. I think I still do the bubbles. What the fuck, Ricky? You go down there with the Sam Squanch. Just get my shopping carts. Just feed my kittens.
That was pretty good.
What?
Not gonna lie.
All right, you're
All
good.
right, what do you got?
All right, so I guess I'll lay my argument out. We can go from there. So I'm gonna my argument would pretty much be that fascism pretty much has like specific ideological components, and it's ideological components that MAGA lacks. Okay, and some of these are like the following. I'd say like totalitarian control over society and the state. Okay, you would have like suppression of all political opposition. You'd have state control of the economy.
Totalitarian is not, really quick, totalitarianism is not a tenet of fascism.
Well, it would be the totalitarian control over society or the state. In the state, should I say.
No, that would be totalitarianism. And in fact, it's talked about. I can't remember who talked about it, but I remember reading from a scholar directly where they were like, a totalitarian state was never actually reached. Just that was the thing. So what it would actually look like, nobody knows. So fascism does not require totalitarianism. Totalitarianism is an end goal of fascism, but it's not inherently a prerequisite for fascism.
I think the word is
I
authoritarianism.
think if you're trying to...
You mean authoritarianism?
I mean, if you're trying to make the argument like against totalitarian control over society and the state, and if it isn't the component of fascism, I think you're just either... It might be a misunderstanding or you're trying to redefine fascism because like there's like... For example, every...
No, do you mean authoritarianism?
No. Totalitarian control, okay? So, like, almost every major scholar of fascism, like people like Roger Griffin, Robert Paxton, Stanley Payne, Umberto Eco...
I think Robert Paxton actually said the fucking opposite. I'm pretty sure I read it in his book.
So Robert Paxton, basically... You're referring to the anatomy of fascism?
Robert O. Paxton. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he argued the opposite. It was kind of further on in the book.
So Paxton basically described fascism as like a form of political behavior marked by obsessive preoccupation with community decline, if I remember right. So like cult of unity and like a willingness to basically abandon democratic liberties to achieve national rebirth and things like
Right,
this.
but I'm pretty sure he argued in The Anatomy of Fascism the exact opposite about what totalitarianism would look like. I'm pretty positive.
So he has.
I think
he
it
has
was
some,
him.
But I mean, I guess even if we can move aside from that one, since we were like getting stuck on that one, we can just do like. Would you agree that like suppression of all political opposition would be one?
So it's not that you have to, so this is the problem. It's not that you have to check these things. It's that these are wants, right? Whether or not you're successful doesn't mark whether or not it's fascist.
Well, the issue here would be is that you're saying it's a fascist movement, but my argument would be is that MAGA, by contrast, okay, is a right-wing populist political slogan. It's a movement focused on economic protectionism, like immigration restriction and American national identity.
They're not for economic protectionism. That's an excuse they use. They're not for economic. They're actually the things they advocate for are detrimental. The things that are detrimental to economic, stuff. But this isn't anything different. You have economic turmoil, a far right, populist emerges out of the ashes and says this is what's wrong. It's an immigrant group, and let's go after them. And then they rise to power and they weaponize that to go after immigrant groups.
Sure. Can I ask, when you're using economic protectionism, how are you using it? Because I'm using it as
you're talking about.
So I'm using
well, I mean, they're not doing economic protectionism; they're doing isolationism. I would say that that's markedly different, but
so that's
corporate.
They may think that they're doing that.
There's corporate protectionism under fascism, but not economic per se.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure this guy's read I don't think he's actually read these books. I think he's read because I've read most of them, but I think he's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so when it comes to when I'm saying economic protectivism or protectionism, sorry, I have a stutter by the way.
You're good.
I'm basically using it in a way that it's a practice of shielding a country's domestic industries from a foreign competition through tariffs, quotas, trade restrictions, and America First policies. Some of these that we can look to is things like the tariffs in China from 2018 to 2020. The renegation of the NAFTA into USMCA, which is when MAGA basically pushed to renegotiate NAFTA into the USMCA to create basically better conditions for American workers. They reduced outsourcing and strengthened the domestic auto and dairy industries. These are examples of economic protection.
No, not really.
I think so. You'd have to do the argument.
Well, it didn't really. It didn't really, but it didn't really protect America. It actually cost us a lot of jobs. So it doesn't so much has to do with that. It has to do with self-sufficiency and isolationism. The idea in fascism really is that the nation is self-sufficient, and if the nation is not self-sufficient, we must do things to make it self-sufficient, that we don't need anyone, that we can be isolationist and rugged individuals, and that we don't need anyone else in the world, and that we can, shut off our borders, and we can do it that way. And that's why you see the Republicans not only going, well, we can shut our economy off to the global economy to a large extent, but also we could take over Greenland. Why? Because Greenland inevitably will make the United States self-sufficient when it comes to a lot of rare earth. And other various stuff like that. We're going to take over Panama because we're going to try and control trade. It has a lot to do with nationalistic expansion. The nation is an idea. It's an abstract concept. It's not the current borders we have. We take over everything until we become self-sufficient.
I just want to...
Right, so I understand the argument. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Right. Go ahead, TikTok.
The point of your economic protectionism, it doesn't do that specifically. The stuff that happens within fascism, the attacking of other countries, this literally not only hurts the American economy, what we're doing, but it also hurts the world economy. It literally just protects the corporations within our nation, not the economy.
I'm actually willing to concede to you on that point in regards to, my argument is that the way that they are operating is trying to protect it. However, there is, by doing so, there is isolation happening. But the issue here would be that in order to prove that it would be fascism, he would have to be in. Oh, sorry, just a minute here. Sorry, I'm walking. He would have to intentionally try to prove that he is trying to isolate. If he isn't intentionally trying to isolate, we couldn't deem it as a form of isolation. It's rather he's trying to protect, and it's resulting in a form of isolation.
He says he's a nationalist. He says, I'm a nationalist. With nationalism comes isolationism.
Oh, shit. Hey, guys, just a minute. My son, just a minute. My son's school is calling. Just a minute. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I've never heard economic I've never heard. I understand corporate isolationism, like within fascism, but I've never heard economic.
Yeah, and every fascist society has operated under the guise of protecting their own economy while simultaneously destroying it. Typically, fascist societies have seen greater recessions, have seen economic downturn, have seen numbers in decline, and will still praise that as for the betterment of the nation.
Yeah, in
Yeah, I mean, it
Germany.
require no. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna add on. Like in Germany, they export a lot of their goods, right? And they seem in Switzerland's kind of like this as well. They do like the isolationism. So like living there, it's very common with older people for them to be like, yeah, I'm not buying that because it wasn't made here, or they
Hmm.
still have that ripple effect, I think, from the 30s and 40s. They're not
No, I
as
mean,
they're
yeah,
not
what
as
you're
bad. Yeah.
very good. I mean, what
Okay,
we're
guys, sorry about
watching is
that.
the
I'm
Trump
back.
administration is trying to really break out of the handcuffs that don't allow them to go and take over countries, which happens to be our reliance on foreign fucking goods and services and all sorts of shit. Because, like, you could say the United States could invade any country and take it over and occupy it tomorrow, right? But ultimately, like, whatever country we could do that to, it probably wouldn't be very important. So the idea would be to isolate, and then you can do whatever as you want as a country. You're not reliant on anybody. There's no outside economic pressure, but that's not the world we live in. So he's, I mean, literally trying to undermine the global economic order so he can do what he wants.
All right, yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Yeah. So in regards to the actual, in regards to you guys basically saying it's like isolationism and things like that. The problem would be is that like basically Trump like he isn't like anti-foreign engagement. He's transactional. So that's the problem. Like, he believes the U.S.
You want to call
That's the
back in another
exact.
time?
Sorry, yeah, he
Yeah.
believes that the U.S. should stop like carrying the costs of like global leadership. Okay, and he still wants
We don't
bilateral
carry
trade.
the cost. We don't carry the cost. And if we carry any cost, well, so here's the thing. It's not like we pay money into something, right? It's not like we pay
Yep.
money into this or that or the other. We take our money and we use it overbroad because it gives us some advantage, whatever that advantage may be. Obviously, an administration, ambassadors, lawmakers have to determine how important of a issue it is and how much money it needs and whether or not we should fund it overseas. But to say that we get economic benefit from that, we get leverage, we get power globally and across the world, and so that's not really something that we want to upend because those things do give us benefit in varying degrees. And Trump is saying those things are actually detrimental to us, and he's abandoning them and really opening up the role for China or another major power to come in and go, here's money, we can help you out, we can establish some sort of trade route, some sort of whatever with them, etc., etc. Um, and so he's really undermining us in that degree. But in terms of fascist tenets and fascist beliefs, like, yeah, this is very much a fascist movement. I don't really think there's any disagreement about that. I don't even think there's that much disagreement in the scholarly community about it anymore. I think there was in 2016, 17, 18. I think after January 6th, for a lot of people, they were like, yeah, it's fascism. Ruth
Does
Bader
Trump have a
Giat was,
does
yeah,
Trump have like a clear like doctrine, if you will, that was basically advocating for racial or ethnic supremacy?
Yes.
no,
Can
it's,
you, can
well, I mean,
you, can you,
yes. I mean, it's not overt, but yes, he is.
okay, so you're
It's
saying he's
it's
hiding it.
anti-immigration. Well, I don't think I did say it's out in the open, right? I think it's very clearly plausible deniability. So there's what's called in like after fascism inevitably fell, they realized something. This is like a commonality that you will see across human history, right? Like in this, just a ton of examples of this. You see it all the time where people do something and then cannot come to the truth. They cannot fundamentally break down why it happened. So they gaslight themselves and they come up with reasons. And those reasons are ad hoc. Or sorry, those reasons are post hoc. They're after the fact. So for instance, in Kosovo, they committed genocide, right? There was a genocide in Kosovo. People there, Serbians, do not fucking believe that happened. Like there's a huge percentage of the population. They don't believe that's how it happened. They don't believe that's what it was. There's gaslights, varying degrees, whatever. When you're talking about, and I'll give you a really good example in a second, but when you're talking about like the Civil War, for instance, if Stephen Douglas that wrote the Cornerstone speech, literally saying this is why we're fighting the war
Alexander
over slavery.
Stevens.
And a few years later, Alexander Stevens, sorry, and a few years later he came out and he goes, no, actually that's not why we did it. we did it because of this reason, this reason, this reason. It wasn't because of slavery. He tried to gaslight people, even though he had previously said it was because of slavery before the war. You see it in this instance, right, where after World War II, people that prescribed to be, because that ideation never left people's minds. Like, they don't want to be associated with fascists or Nazis, but that belief system never left their mind. And so, well, we're not like them. So they have to worry about the optics of it. Well, we didn't do it. And you see this after everything. We worry about the optics so we can maintain credibility for what we want to continue to do, right? Even though we lost. So in this instance, they're worried about optics. So Trump in this instance is worried about optics. And it's not just so when we're saying that he's targeting a marginalized group, he's very clearly going after brown people. Otherwise, he wouldn't be talking about deporting homegrowns. He wouldn't be going after birthright citizenship. He's talking about brown people.
I mean, he is.
There would be.
Hold on 1 second. When it comes to foreigners, he's utilizing the rhetoric of Hitler. Like, even "Make America Great Again," that is a slogan that goes back to Hitler. But when he's talking about, he's calling he's calling foreigners in the United States, he's calling them vermin. I mean,
yes, I can respond to this, in two different ways, essentially. But I guess here's the question I'll ask. Okay, I'll, give me 30 seconds so I can get it all out, and then you can respond. It would be that immigration law is basically about it's enforcing borders. It's about sovereignty, not racial ideology, things like that. Okay, so under Obama, he deported more people than Trump, but deportations are a legal function. So how can you say that the legal function is, you equate this to that being about brown people, but then when Obama deported more than him, that wasn't white supremacy, right?
It's why he's doing it. But you're fundamentally missing why he's doing it. So when we're pointing to Obama, Obama did target immigrants, right? Obama did not target people that were ethnically Hispanic in the United States, period. He did not go after people for that thing.
But Trump is sidestepping due process for these people.
No, I can grant you that, but the issue here is that you guys are basically saying that the racial hierarchy that is supposed to be being promoted here is being hidden behind closed doors under some veil.
I don't think it's under a veil. I think it's very clearly out in the open. I think it's obviously out in the open. And I'll tell you exactly why, and we see it over and over again. Because like I said, trying to get rid of birthright citizenship. There is no reason to get rid of birthright citizenship unless you're trying to target people that were born here, and the people that are most likely to be born here and have parents that were not is migrants, is people from south of the border. So that's what they're attempting to stop. They're trying to stop that. So that doesn't have to do with regardless. They're targeting, when they're going out, they're targeting, the Trump administration is targeting people that are citizens. People have been targeted that are citizens. People have been targeted that are veterans. It doesn't matter. The way that they're identifying people is not based off their status, it's based off their race. And we see this because if Republicans genuinely cared about this problem, right, that they view as a problem, they would turn around and they would write some meaningful legislation that would address X, Y, and Z. But they're not. Right? They're trying to get rid of asylum. They don't care if people are here legally. You hear them all the time. There's migrants all over in Chicago and New York. Those migrants are here legally. They demonize literally anyone that attempts to cross the border, whether or not they have a legal thing or not. And just to point out, I posted a video. I talked about this. I posted a video about a 7-year-old that got caught up in razor wire that Greg Abbott put up in Texas and died. And Republicans praised it. They praised it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And in the same aspect, they're turning around and saying that white people in South Africa, which, by the way, is a Nazi talking point. It was created by Nazis. That white people in South Africa are being targeted.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, obviously it's fucked up that people would praise something like that. That doesn't make sense. But, I hear what you're saying. You're making valid points, and your argument is compelling. The issue is that there's compelling evidence against it, and that's where we kind of we're going to kind of clash at, because
there's really not.
It's really not.
Against it would be things like he increased H-2B temporary work visas, and let's say in 2017.
No, I mean there was literally one of his surrogates. One of his surrogates in 2020 said if Joe Biden's elected, we're going to have taco trucks on every corner.
Wait, what? What was that?
Yeah.
The HB.
This is like the racial language that they use about everything is literally endless. It's always
I mean,
always targeting
he's also,
Hispanic
also
people.
very
That's the thing.
clear.
And so
Also,
I just to point out, it's not just to point out. This is a long, just really quick, and then I'll let you guys have at it. This is a long-standing tactic of the GOP, and it has been. It goes back decades, literally to the '60s. It was created by a group of people, one of which was a former campaign staff of Nixon, one of which was Lee Atwater, Republican strategist, and I think I don't know that it was Roger Stone, but Roger Stone was involved with Lee Atwater in that circle, but it was a different guy. And they came up with this thought process, which is in 1950s, you can say N-word, N-word, N-word will get you elected. By 1960s, it's out of fashion. People don't like it. So you have to get creative. You have to create ways that insinuate race that people can't really pick up on, right? That's ambiguous, that's vague. This is his words, Republican strategist, and the Republicans have used this sense. And so you say things like forced busing, or you say things like, trigger words like segregation. And basically that's what it is. It's a dog whistle. And so when he's talking about immigrants, nobody in their mind is sitting here thinking about the fucking English immigrant coming in from England. Nobody's thinking about Canada. If you say immigrant, they're thinking Hispanic. And that's what they rely on, using those dog whistles, right? Criminals. It's the same shit that happened with, by the way, grass. Grass, this is the same way they got it banned, by weaponizing this is why I'm going to be out. So this is why we call it Mary Jane. That's why we call it marijuana. That's why we call it that. In a large part is because the DOJ attempted to target it and attach it to Hispanic migrants coming here in the 30s. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. And that's why it became illegal. That's why we know it as that. That's why it wasn't called cannabis, which is what it was known here, or anything remotely related to hemp. It was called a slang. That was a Spanish slang word. So yeah, this is like a long-standing thing.
There's really not any credible evidence to suggest that the rhetoric he's using isn't targeting people of color. I mean, he called them shithole countries. He suggested that more people should come from Europe and Norway, the Nordic nations, rather than Africa and the global south. He's referred to them in dehumanizing terms such as rats, vermin, scums, disease-filled creatures, etc., etc. We know who he's talking about, because that's not who he refers to when it comes to white people. He also talks about Barack Obama in such incendiary terms, such as suggesting he wasn't born in America. He constantly calls him Barack Hussein Obama, associating him with a terrorist, and called him the founder of ISIS. So yes, his disdain for people of color is apparent. Also, to pick up on a point you made, this is typically a trait within racist people and society, is to prioritize, just one second, is to prioritize certain types of brown people over others. So yes, he did increase H-2B non-immigrant visas. That has to do with a separatist movement, of which oftentimes white supremacy plays into, is saying that we support these types but not these types. These types are subhuman. These types are the kinds we should value in our society to uphold our wealth and our status.
right. Okay. Yeah. I understand that. I just think, but when it comes to the remarks he made, I think there is a distinction to be made. Okay, because I think that he was making these remarks about immigration policy and like basically national interest, rather than it being about race. Like for example, like obviously when he was speaking,
Dog whistle.
so when
Yeah,
he was
man.
speaking,
That's
obviously.
so you can have plausible
Hold on.
denial on him
We
saying
can
it.
we can call it anything a dog whistle, but like also,
No, we can't.
Nope.
but he also makes the
can't.
argument that we should be selecting immigrants based on merit, not just humanitarian grounds.
I know, that's the point I just made. That as long as it upholds our society and makes us look pretty, these are the types of migrants, these are the types of brown people we should value. And any other kind that doesn't fit that criteria is useless and subhuman.
But wait. Okay. So, Jaden, here's the issue. Okay, yes, you can take it that way, but why aren't we also considering that, like, when he was speaking in this way, okay, he was pointing towards the conditions of these countries, okay, and he was referring to basically, you guys are making this about race, but the reality here is that
It is
like,
about race.
wait, the
We're not
reality
making
here
it
is
about race. It
basically
is.
he was arguing against basically extending protections. I mean, but like things like people in Haiti, El Salvador, and some of the other African nations, okay, even though they're under the TPS, but he's
He
basically
literally
asking.
kicked them
Come
out.
on,
He restricted their TPS.
He's not for expanding the types of living conditions in those nations to begin with, by the way. In fact, if anything, his administration has actively rolled them back. The USAID, through programs having to do with starvation and AIDS programs, he's not in the interest of making them less shithole countries. If anything, he's actively made them worse. And he's used that as justification to not let them back.
Well, you're also saying that all he did was insult brown country, people with countries with brown people, but he also
Yes, and black
Yeah,
people.
brown
Wait
and
a
black people.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He was criticizing Germany, Canada. He went for Sweden.
Wasn't?
Hold on, he went for France.
Why did
I'm
you make
I'm
that
sorry.
up?
I'm sorry. He said bad hombres, not bad frogs. I'm the daughter of immigrants, but I've never had to worry. My parents aren't going to worry either, because they're from the UK. They're white. Their first language is English. People have picked up on their accents. And nobody's ever said like, oh, why are you here? Like,
Wait,
they're
wait,
not
wait.
treated. They are not
Yeah.
treated like black and brown people
And
from
he's never
foreign nations. Like, be so for
he's
real.
never criticized the living conditions of all those nations you've talked about. He's never criticized the migration of those people to the
Wait,
United States.
That's not true, Jaden. Yes,
It is true. His concerns, his critiques are first world in nature.
Hold on, wait,
He
wait.
typically
You guys know
criticizes
that-
them for foreign policy. He
Okay.
criticizes their governments, not the people, not their standards, not their living conditions. You'll never hear him call France or Canada a shithole country.
Okay, listen, Jaden. In 2017, he had that rally in Florida, and he basically was attacking them for immigration and their crime there and their living conditions. And then also,
Right, I know. That's the point. He attacked them for the brown people coming into their country. This was a criticism about their government not doing enough to remove brown people from within their ranks.
no. He was attacking their crime, but also immigration.
And
as well.
attributed that to the Muslim
To brown
insurgents
people,
that happened within their population.
I don't believe that's what happened. In that
That
rally.
is
Yeah,
true.
that's because you don't see dog whistles because you're white, man. You don't hear dog whistles because
He wasn't criticizing the white people from that country. He was criticizing the brown people that immigrated there, largely from Syria, as an attribute towards the crime stats there.
So the entire idea, what you're saying is that there is just so I understand correctly, your argument is that the fascist movement is a white supremacist movement with a focus on the eradication of brown people, seeing them as, I guess, inferior or a
Not
detriment.
just brown people,
Who?
othering people, marginalized communities specifically. But hey, man, you understand that like throughout history in America, we have intentionally made laws that disproportionately affect some races over others. You get that, right?
I mean, you could argue there are some, yes.
No, 100%. Throughout our history, there have been thousands of laws that disproportionately affect some races over others. And they don't have to say, hey, we're making this law to affect black people disproportionately over white people. It just does. The way the laws are written.
Can you give me an
it
example,
can-
please? Can you give me an example?
Sure. The loitering laws, the jaywalking laws, the homeless laws, all these things that are put into place, they're called black codes. They were done all through Jim Crow, all through from 1870 to essentially 1960s, and they're still done today. They're just done more. They're more
sorry,
quiet. They
wait,
use dog
you-
whistles this time. But so we understand that if they're making laws let's say they make laws that disproportionately affect houseless people from sleeping on the streets. They just say, hey, if you fall asleep on the streets, you are now subject to be arrested. They don't have to mention houseless people in that law for it to affect majority houseless people, right? We see how that's done. Now, that's what they're doing with the immigration laws. They're specifically making laws that disproportionately impact people, brown people coming from south of the border. And we see this playing out within our ICE raids today. They're not focusing on people from Poland or UK.
Okay.
They're focusing specifically on brown people coming from south of the border. And for you to look at that and say, I don't see it, just says you're okay with the white supremacy that's happening.
Okay, so you're obviously referencing like black codes, things like that, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So what's the supplementary argument for it being in place today?
It's still in place today.
Right. What's the supplementary argument for that? Or can you tell me?
Wait, you want me to break down systemic racism right now?
No. I know that historically there were laws used against black communities. I know this. This is a
Oh my
fact.
God.
Are you
Richie,
not
I'm
aware that this
sorry.
still happens today?
Richie,
No.
are you only hold on, Richie. All right, let's cut to the chase because this is like belabored now. Are you only going to believe it if Trump and his administration come out and say, yeah, get rid of the black people, get rid of the brown
No.
people, let's fucking do this? What
I wouldn't believe it if you said that.
what is it
I would
going
look.
to take, Richie? Because we are explaining to you what dog whistles are. We have given you
Yeah.
concrete, undeniable examples, tangible examples, and you're still like, well, let's keep beating this dead horse.
Yeah,
Like,
great. So I
what's
mean,
it
to answer
gonna
your
take,
question
Richie?
simply, yeah. Once there's like militarization of public life, and then there's basically obviously some sort of clear doctrine advocating for racial or ethnic supremacy, absolutely, I'll basically say it's a fact.
So when it's too late, not the
yeah.
foreshadowing.
I know, right?
Why does it take that? Why are the dog whistles not enough for you to come to your senses?
Dog whistles are enough to an extent, but I'm saying that right now you're kind of leaving a gap here where it's like you're kind of making some jumping conclusions.
They do that. They exercise plausible deniability constantly. That's why, once you call them out on these things, on the rhetoric that they use, on the terminology, on the policies that they inflict upon us, they'll say, no, this wasn't directed towards trans people. This wasn't about gay people. This was just about
Right.
protecting the kids. This was just about protecting our youth. This was just about protecting the citizens. No, we know who they're targeting. We know who most likely they're pointing to
Right.
as being the perpetrators of these things. This is just a clear and present dog whistle that constantly you refuse to ignore.
Yeah, yeah. Watch. They care. Watch here really quick. I just want to point this out. This is the crux of it.
I mean, like
Republicans
also,
would
like,
care more, but really quick. This is how you know. Republicans scream they care about kids, correct?
I'm sorry. What was that? What was that, dude?
This is Tommy.
This is me. Republicans scream they care about kids, correct?
I mean, everyone should care about kids, but yes,
But they scream it.
sure.
So can you tell me why, if they care about kids, if there was a track meet out back of a school in which a trans athlete was racing in, they would care more about that than the school shooting currently going on?
Okay, so the question you're asking me is why someone would care about a trans athlete over a school pew-pewing?
Yeah, if there's a school shooting going on at the same time that there was a track meet out back with a trans athlete, they would care more about the trans athlete track meet.
Well, first of all, to be
There would be
clear,
more responses online to it. There would be more interaction.
More public
You wouldn't even.
policy
Most
decision.
Americans wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even know that a shooting took place.
So, first of all, both things in this situation, obviously, school pew-pewings are horrific things, but it's very hard to mitigate them.
It's not.
It is. I mean, gun control wouldn't mitigate it. People would just get their hands in it.
That's not what
regardless.
I'm saying. What
Then
I'm
why
saying
did
is
it when we did
Republicans
have
would
it?
be more upset. Republicans
not
would be
true.
more upset that there's a trans track meet taking place out back than a current shooting going on.
Oh, I don't know what type of Republicans you've been speaking to, but obviously, probably some crazy ones. 'Cause that's just
Literally,
not-
I talk to Republicans every single fucking day.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously, probably some crazy ones, but no, obviously, okay, I believe what you're saying that some may
Some.
do that, but yeah, I don't have an answer for that 'cause I wouldn't care about
No,
the trans
Richie,
athlete.
Richie, I'm sorry, but I speak on LGBTQ topics all the time, until the wee hours of the night. And let me tell you, I've even come by leftists who are so transphobic. You guys on the right are insanely transphobic. It's even on the left. I will give that. It really is. But you
Well-
guys scapegoat trans people way more than you would a school pew-pewer. Tommy's 100% correct.
That's not true, at least for me.
fact.
Absolutely
That is
true.
true.
I mean, who was the last
true.
mass pew-pewer that Republicans have rallied against?
They rally against? I don't know.
There
Yes,
isn't one.
There isn't one. There isn't one. Usually they want to avoid the fact that they're almost always Republicans, so they don't really want to talk about it. Sean, appreciate it. Thank you. Ignorancy is bliss. The ignorancy is bliss policy. I am familiar. Sean, appreciate it. Thank you for the 5 over there. Kelly, appreciate it for the 5. Thank you. Republicans voted against reducing child poverty, fixing the formula shortage, free school lunches, gun reform. They voted against it all. Kelly, appreciate it. Thank you for the 5. Sean, appreciate it for the 5. And Void, appreciate it for the 4. Crush this dude. Appreciate it, Void. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for all of them? Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for supporting the show.
Also,
Sorry,
for
go ahead.
Page in the bottom, yeah, to answer your question, I think people are concerned about that also because even though they shouldn't be worried about that over school shootings, but because obviously athletes that are biological males shouldn't be in female sports. It's that simple.
Really quick, really
That's
quick,
not
really quick, really quick. This is, let me reiterate my point, okay? If a school shooting happens, what do they say? Don't ban my guns. Don't touch my guns. That's the response. Don't ban my guns. That's what they all say when the response to a school shooting. What's the response when there's a trans athlete at a track meet? Ban the trans athlete. So, yeah, they very clearly, let's be real here, they very clearly care about trans athletes more. And I don't really care what you have to say. You're just repeating the point because I brought up school shootings are bad. Instead of going, yeah, we should really have a discussion about how Republicans are not against stopping school shooting and violence in that regard. We should have a real discussion. You go straight into the, well, trans people, because that's a real fucking problem. Because that's a non-existent fucking problem in this country that you've made a problem. Why the fuck are you talking about it? It has nothing to do. It didn't hurt anyone. It didn't fucking destroy anyone. Fucking you guys are more worried about someone's college career getting destroyed by a trans athlete than you are someone's entire fucking life and the life of their family.
Yeah,
See
Richie,
the
there
problem?
are. Hold on.
First of all,
Hold on, Richie, hold on 1 second. To
It's
put
just
that
an
in
echo chamber.
perspective, yeah, I know. So there are 500,000 NCAA athletes, college athletes. There are only 10 transgender athletes. Not one of them is dominating their sport. Not one of them. But you guys talk about transgender people in sports and in bathrooms nonstop. When there was a school pew-pewing, what happened? The Republicans took to wearing pens of AR-15s on their lapels.
I do want to point out really quick, sorry Paige to interrupt you, that the only time that I've seen Republicans get mad about a school shooting is when a trans person did it. I just want to point that out.
Remember when you were talking about you were looking for the racial aspects of fascism within the country, and you were saying unless that happens, this isn't fascism. I won't look. That's not what fascism is. It doesn't have anything to do with racism. It literally is just othering people, marginalized communities, and it's exactly what you are doing right now. You are othering transgender individuals. You're acting as if they are the enemy. They are dangerous to our society. They are going to hurt our children. And the reality of it is you couldn't point to one transgender individual who's actually done these things in a bathroom or dominated in a sport. That it's not, you're othering people. And this, sir, is fascist. It doesn't, you don't have to be racist and hate people of color and, actively go out and harm people of other races to be fascist. It's literally what you're doing. You are othering individuals, specifically in this instance, trans people. One of the most marginalized, the smallest percentage of population in this country.
Right.
And you're pointing at them and saying they're the bad ones.
I'm not othering trans people. You just
100% you are. 100%. They don't belong in sports. That's what you're othering.
Female sports.
Why do you get to say that? Have you really quick? Why do you get to say that?
serious?
What gives you the right to say that? Yes,
Yeah,
what gives you the
because
right to
women
say that? Have you
Yeah, great. Yeah, okay.
have you
let
read
me ask
any?
you a question.
Have you how much of the relevant? Cool. How much of the relevant literature have you read?
Enough.
How much? What have you read?
How much?
All of it.
Well, I mean, if you had
Can you
read
tell me
it,
what
you
the-
would not be having this
Can
argument.
you tell me
with
what the NCAA standard is for trans athletes?
The what?
The NCAA standard for trans athletes competing
In which sports?
in either sport, any sports. Let's say swimming.
Yeah. Basically limits competition. It basically limits the competition.
No, I asked what the standard is that they've applied for them to compete.
Oh yeah. It's in regards to they have to be on they have to have been on puberty blockers for a certain amount of time. They would have to also went through the hormone therapy as well.
Wait, what?
And yeah, and
It
if they
doesn't
do
have to
that-
do with puberty
We're
blockers.
talking
no,
about
but
college.
That's
College
anything to
kids
do with
aren't taking puberty blockers.
yeah.
Well, puberty blockers. If you don't take puberty blockers when you're the hormones, they don't actually do anything for your muscle mass or bone density.
Wait, so
That's
then you're
not
for puberty
true.
blockers? That is,
No.
yeah, it's not true at all. But
Children, no.
wouldn't you be for puberty blockers then if it limits the rate of trans athletes dominating in these fields?
I don't see why we're even on a trans topic because I didn't bring this up. The
Just
person-
can you answer that?
What's the question?
We're
Wouldn't you
talking
be
about the
for
othering.
implementing puberty blockers then, if that would
No.
limit
Not
the
in
unfair
violence.
advantage that they have?
Not
Richie,
minus.
they would go through a female puberty if you did, and then they wouldn't be as competitive. Your problem is that they're too, in your idea, is that they're too competitive. Great. Let them take puberty blockers, then they will go through what a female puberty is. So you should be like, yeah, absolutely, but you don't give a shit. Here's the thing, Richie, you really don't care about women's sports. It's not female sports,
Paige.
it's women's sports.
Paige, how can you be a female and
Kelly,
also a
appreciate it,
misogynist
thank
at the
you.
same time?
I'm not a misogynist.
What?
You are.
Great.
It's not
So in
misogyny.
Great. So in 1950, 1960, who was fighting for the right to participate in sports?
I have no
Can you be
idea.
more specific?
Oh, well.
Are
Yeah,
you
yeah, I'm asking you,
drawing? Hold on a
1950s.
second. Are you drawing
Black people?
comparison, like for like literally drawing comparison?
Okay,
to
great,
trans
great. How about
athletes?
I
Okay.
word it this way? How about I word
Kelly,
it this way?
appreciate it.
How about I word
Thank
this
you.
way? What is the
I'll read that in a second.
who oppressed females historically? Who oppressed females historically?
White cishet men.
men.
Okay, what is the so it's men. So let me ask you a question. In 1940, were trans men also oppressing females?
Richie, trans men are men, trans women are women. That's all you need to know, buddy.
Wait. Why are you pivoting?
I'm not
I'm
pivoting.
confused.
Who?
I don't like
Trans
I don't
women
like
were
these
not
white
oppressing
cishet-
cis women.
Great. So Jaden, when
Exactly,
you
they're
open a
not.
history book and you're teaching
Cishet white
children about
men
the
should
history of
not be
women,
telling
who are you
women.
referring to?
Richie,
Jaden.
you should not be talking on women's shit.
Jaden, when you open a history book and
Yeah.
you're teaching
No,
children about women's
Richie,
history, who are you referring
aka
to?
Grayson, you should not be talking on women's business. Full
Jaden,
stop.
when you open a history book and you speaking about women,
Cishet and or
Why are you not
intersex
responding
women.
to?
okay, so
Why
in
are you
the
not
in the
responding
Paige, is that
1930s
worthy?
and 40s, we're referring
Why
to
are you
who?
not responding to Paige? Listen, you're not an athlete. You're not a trans athlete. You're not a college athlete. You're not a high school athlete. You're not a fucking woman. Why are you talking on this?
I have to be a woman to
You
speak
just,
on matters.
you just want to be hateful towards trans people. That's all.
I'm not hateful towards trans people.
Yeah, 100%. You're being hateful towards trans people.
Wow, can you explain where the hate's coming from?
Dude, are you?
Because you were
So-
literally ignoring your rhetoric. You're ignoring the scientific data. You're really upset about this for some
What
fucking
scientific
reason, even
data?
though it doesn't bother you.
What
The
scientific
one that
data?
Jaden was reading off to you. What do you think that guidance for the NAAC and
That's-
NCAA and for the
NCAA.
fucking?
It's a simple
Where do you think
question.
that guidance come from? Where do you
You
think
are
that guidance
allowing-
comes from?
The guidance, scientific
Where
data.
do you
But
think that guidance come? Yeah, okay. So why are you arguing with the scientific data? Why are you arguing with every
gonna
like?
attack
Why do
the
you? Why, I
NCAA
don't fucking understand this.
scared of
Why do
getting
you
canceled.
know more than the NCAA? Why do you know more than the fucking Olympic Committee? Why do you know more than every fucking major research institution in this country? Why do you know more than the fucking American Medical Association, the American Pediatric Association, the American Psychological Association?
I'm not speaking for
Why do you know
myself.
more than these groups?
I'm not saying I do.
Why do you know
I'm
more than
asking
these
you-
groups?
Wait, dude. If a female comes to you and tells you she's uncomfortable with a trans woman being in the bathroom, is that always rooted in
They can
bigotry?
use that woman can use. She's being a snowflake, so she can use the bathroom at home. She can cross her
Okay,
legs when
dude.
she's in public.
So this is misogyny, though. You're saying
No, that isn't
It is
misogyny,
misogyny.
Richie.
No, it's
That
not.
isn't
Saying to-
misogyny.
you're saying
That's
to the female, go
practicality.
home
If she's
and
going
use
to
the
be shut
bathroom.
up. If she's going to be impractical, right, and she finds it an inconvenience, then she can be a big girl and look
Okay.
for solutions that apply to her.
Great.
Nobody
Can trans
has to
women go into
bend
TV
to
shelters?
her.
Right.
Can they go-
Yeah.
can they go-
Yes.
Yeah,
Trans
Richie.
women are women.
What if?
Yeah.
What do you
Yes.
mean
They
if
can.
white? Listen, Richie. People made the same. This is the same fucking argument that was made fucking 60 years ago. Well, what if white women don't feel comfortable being in the bathroom with black women? Then fuck off.
What?
Go piss
I've
in a
actually never
bush.
looked it up.
It's the
Wait.
Go
same
ahead, whites only
fucking
bathrooms,
thing.
bro.
So you're giving
It's
an
the same
oppression
fucking
correlation.
thing, and I
You
find
actually
it so
proved it.
weird. I just want to point out, by the way, I live in the Pacific Northwest, and there are multiple bathrooms that I have been to that are
Yeah.
unisex. They have them at the fucking airport.
Is gender a social construct?
If I walk into that bathroom and a woman goes, I don't want to use that bathroom, we should make this one gender. Does that my fucking fault?
Oh, no, it's not your fault.
No, it's
Is
not. Go
gender a
find a
social
different
construct?
bathroom you feel more comfortable in. That's not my fault that I walk into a unisex bathroom. That's not
Wait,
my
is
fault that
gender
you're
a sex
uncomfortable in that
engage in this
bathroom.
argument.
If I whip my dick, listen, bro, engage with the conversation. If I whip my big dick out in the stall next to you and you're like, I'm uncomfortable, are you gonna fucking run? Or would that be fucking weird? Stop looking at my junk, by the way. You're sick. Anyways, like, you know what I mean? Like, are you just gonna run out the fucking stall? Like, things make people uncomfortable in bathrooms all the time. I walk into a bathroom and there's like, I don't know, a bunch of random shit happening or people using in the stalls. I'm still just pissing. If I don't want to piss there, I can leave. If stuff's happening that I don't agree with, I can fucking leave.
Okay, what does that prove?
What the fuck? The whole argument. You're saying, well, what if they don't feel comfortable? I don't fucking care. Isn't your whole thing, if you don't like it, leave?
No, that's not the entire movement, my friend.
And what do you feel
Also,
uncomfortable about? That you had to
especially
wash your
trans
fucking
people.
hands? Because they have stalls. What do they feel uncomfortable about? They had to wash their fucking hands? You fucking guys, it's fucking crazy to me. You're like, well, they feel uncomfortable. And the whole insinuation is sexual assault. But it's fucking crazy to me because you don't actually believe that trans people are trans. You believe that they're like what they were born with. So you're literally saying, well, cis men could assault them. Like, that's literally what you're fucking saying. Cis men could assault them because you don't believe trans is real. So you're just like, cis men are walking into a bathroom and assaulting women, which is fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Trans just means denoting or relating to a sex that doesn't correspond to a gender, or to a gender that doesn't correspond.
But you're saying, like, but is the Republican line? I don't know if it's your line because you haven't clarified. But the Republican line is that trans people aren't real. Okay, then why the fuck do you care? They walk into a bathroom, they walk into a stall, they go piss, they get out and they leave. Why is that? Why does that affect anyone?
I
What does that affect? What are we gonna be the fucking? We're gonna go ahead and check people's fucking junk? So listen, I want to make sure that we walk into a bathroom together. I want to make sure that you're not trans. I don't know. Show me a dick.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Whip it out. Let me see.
Yeah.
Again, you're obviously missing my entire point. I didn't say.
Yeah,
that.
Richie, we know. Tommy would get confused. Is that a belly button or a mushroom? I mean, I get that, but neither here nor there.
All right. So
Yeah.
is the entire
Not
debate,
the
like,
gumdrop
just
button.
talking over the person?
No.
Not the gumdrop button. Oh, I can't play it. It's not working. We do not care. I think Chi appreciate. I think that's how you say your name. Chi appreciate it for the 25. Getting kicked is a social construct, or is getting kicked a social construct? Tell me. Appreciate it. Chi, can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for the 25 to kick? I'm fine with it. Appreciate it. I got about 10 more minutes. I don't know where Josh went.
right.
If you guys are debating, I don't know if anybody's debating, but hop in the box. Why the fuck does
And
anybody
support
need
the
to
show.
care? Why do you fucking care? I don't fucking give a fuck. I don't care. There's so much more shit that we could worry about as a fucking society. Like, I think a really good thing to worry about as a society would be reckless driving. That shit pisses me off. Kelly, appreciate it. Thank you for the 5.
It's
Appreciate
so
it. Read that in
fun.
just a second. Like reckless driving. It's just, we could go after reckless driving. We go after drunk driving. We could go after fucking people texting. We could go after fucking, I think reckless driving should be targeted, but we could go after a whole host of shit. We could go after a whole host of bad shit and bad acting as a country. We could standardize some form of fucking, we could literally do an entire commission on how to stop women from getting SA'd and how to fucking, like, how to help out in that regard and what we can do to target men early on so that they understand that this shit's not okay, or put them in jail forever, or whatever the fuck we do. But we could target that as a society where we could look at it and we could go, these fucking men are a fucking problem. Deal with them. They keep fucking sexually, put them on a fucking farm. I don't know. We could deal with this as a society. And this is a very big thing. And instead, what are they focused on? They're focused on a population that makes up less than 1% of the country. They're focused on fucking 10 athletes in all of the country. If you're really that concerned about protecting women, then maybe don't go, well, what was she wearing? Maybe don't start listening to Charlie Kirk where it's like, consent, it gets a gray area. It's really fucking not. Like, they just fucking make up new ways in which it's okay to sexually assault women, or which it's okay to defend those people that do that, or to gaslight people into believing that this wasn't a big deal, or whatever the fuck it was. They vote for a rapist and then go say, we want to protect women. Shut up. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. You don't want to
Well,
protect
they're-
women, okay?
Now,
If you
with-
wanted to
with
protect
all
women,
of
you
this-
shut the fuck up and listen to them, like I'm gonna with Paige. Go ahead, Paige.
Yeah, so thank you. So what they're doing, no, it's okay. I was interrupting you. What they're doing is they found another way to unalive more of us again. So, first it's the AB, right? It's abortion. And now what they're going to do, and we've seen this happening already, where cis women are being unalived because they are being mistaken for trans women. There are women, cis women, that are being unalived because they're being confused with trans women. We even see that happen in, well, didn't Boebert, she went and called the manager at I think it was in Congress or whatever, and it turned out to be a cis woman that she called the manager on. I think it was in Congress that she did. I don't know. It was a government building. And so great,
Yeah.
good job, transphobes, because now you're going to have girls and women, cis girls and cis women, who are going to be violated, and they are going to be unalived because of your transphobia, which is misogyny. Let's be honest. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing, let's be real about what this whole thing is, okay? Conservatives keep trans hub stars employed. This
True.
is all this is all that literally all this is, okay, is that there's a bunch of super insecure men that have no interest there. Just it's icky. And why? Because they're concerned about it being I mean they truly are. They are concerned about being gay. They're concerned and they're conflicted with trans people. Right? Because it adds an element of that. This is the problem, right? If it's a gay person, right? I'll say G, so that because TikTok. There's no ambiguity there. They're just not attracted, right? But the reason I think there's so much vitriol towards trans people is because there is that anatomy aspect where they're like, "Ooh, maybe I'm going to be attracted to this in some respect," right? And so they're very fucking defensive over it. They're very defensive over it. They're very upset that they could be attracted to it. And listen, if you aren't, that's fine. Go give it a shot. All right? But stop hating on it. But what I see when people do this stuff like, well, you're gay. Like I had the dude come on here yesterday that was like, you're G or whatever. I had to restart the live. Like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. So I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know. I don't get it. I don't understand the whole thing. It's just a bunch of really insecure men running around going like, oh, well, I don't want to be attracted to that. So I'm going to be real fucking defensive. You ever see Hey Arnold?
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah.
what's her name? Is it, what's
Helga.
the girl's name? She's in love with Arnold.
Helga.
Was it Helga?
Helga,
Okay, I thought
yeah.
it was. And she's just in love with Arnold, but she just shits on him all the fucking time. It's classic projection. Classic projection. Republicans love the D, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to clear this really quick. I don't know if anybody's debating. And the fact
They got an
that
R
when
next
you
to their
introduce
name, but a D next to the head.
Yeah, well, we saw the R and
I mean,
C,
they're
the D that they wanted. Slash and
Kelly
grind it.
appreciated. Is it acceptable to him that Trump bragged about entering a teen girl's dressing room to inspect them changing clothes? Kelly appreciated. Thank you for the 5 over on YouTube.
Well,
Get
of
some Dove
course.
dressers in the chat. And they don't focus on it. Who's all like RFK has allegations. Trump has, it's been proven in court. They still argue against that, but he has allegations as well. Trump brings in a guy that literally committed Conor McGregor into the White House. He allowed Tate to come into the United States despite the fact that he's a fucking criminal that's on trial for trafficking children. They do not care. Don't give me that shit that they care about this. You don't. You don't care about it at all. What this has to do with is your hatred for trans people because you're secretly very concerned that you're going to be attracted to it. And listen, there's nothing wrong with it. It's totally okay. And here, us on the left coast, we accept you. We accept you, okay? Us on the left coast, we accept you. You want to run around trans, we don't give a fuck. We see it all the time. It's an everyday thing for us. It's not even a normal. It's not even. It would be odd if I didn't see a trans person once a day.
Yeah.
It would be odd. Be real with you. And you guys living out here in the middle of fucking. It's just it's weird to me. It's weird how obsessed you are. And I do want to point this out. I went to the Emerald Downs. I don't remember what year. It's like 5-6 years ago, and it's a horse track in here. And this happened, okay? And I bring it up because this is the seismic shift that we've had in just a few years. It was that Trump was the most pro LGBTQ president on the planet. I remember I was at
Just
Emerald
kidding.
Downs. I do have to go here in a minute. I do remember I was at Emerald Downs, and the bathroom, which is a racetrack, they were doing a fireworks show. I think it was for 4th of July or something. I can't remember. And but I was there, and I was like, I had to go pee, and I looked over at the women's bathroom. And for the men that don't understand this, women's bathrooms are fucked up. They don't know because they never pay
nasty.
attention. But women's bathrooms, well, it's not just they're nasty. They're always fucking packed. They're always fucking packed. And I actually feel really bad because I'm like, fuck, that sucks. It's women's bathrooms when you go out in public are fucking packed. Always. If there's an event, it's bad. I don't know why they don't make women's bathrooms bigger, to be honest with you. But they were these girls that like came across and they like went into the bathroom and they like ran in, went into a stall, went into the bathroom, and then they came out and they ran. And every guy in there was fucking laughing. Like, hey, they just had to pee. They went into a stall, they pissed, they left. And everybody in there was fucking, just like laughing about it. Dudes in cowboy hats and boots and fucking like a bunch of redneck looking motherfuckers. Everybody's laughing about it. They just go in, they like, okay, whatever. Yeah, we don't care. Like, right? And so that was the thing. And now I see like videos on TikTok where that's happening and people are like, oh my God, how dare they? How fucking dare they? I can't believe they would come into the bathroom. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They just got to fucking piss. I don't give a shit. It's so weird to me. Just let them piss and leave. I don't know why that's a big deal. You're a guy. You piss in all the most random spots. Let's be so for fucking real. Like just piss over on the side of a freeway or whatever fucking randomly. You'd find a place to piss that's like, oh, well, this would be awkward in a weird context if I didn't have to piss. But you find a place to piss. And they're just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. They're in the fucking bathroom with us. It's just fucking... Grow a fucking pair. It's fucking weird. Anyway, I have to go get my son. This will be up for you guys over on YouTube if you guys want to watch the rest of it. My video from yesterday morning, my crash out, go watch it. Or was that last night? Yeah, you guys are gonna have to sub. I'm gonna post a video later, but I crashed the fuck out. I crashed out so hard. Oh, I think it was the worst crash out I ever had. I was so fucking weird. It's one of the worst crash outs I've ever had.
I have to say that was the most intense one in like the last few years, for sure.
I caught it. Yeah, I was.
Busy, it was just. I was like, I can't fucking. This is so stupid.
Vintage Tommy.
I want to give a word of advice for all the desperate and sad men out there that will never get a girl. But this will come in handy for you in the future, okay? Tampons. Buy tampons. Keep them stocked in your place, okay? Word of friendly advice. Do this shit. Be a good Samaritan. Have them. I have no shame in that. I have a big-ass box of them. Who gives a shit? I don't fucking need them. Anybody else might? Buy them, you fucking assholes.
Go get yourself a little bit of feminine products and some fucking cologne.
Yes.
You fucking don't smell bad. Wait, what's a good cologne? Wait, what should I wear for a cologne today? Huh?
I don't know.
Something light.
Okay, hold on. Wait, I'm gonna look. You guys yap for just a second. I'm just posting this video over here. You guys yap for just a second. I'm gonna get something. I gotta go in just a minute, but hold on. Let me look. This is my final
Buy
piece
them
of
and keep
advice.
them in your pocket. Never know when you might need them. And the ladies, they will love you for it. Okay, that's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have sisters, you have mom.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
It's just a basic measure of decency. That's all.
Yeah,
It's a shame that that's lacking in our society.
like a box of Kleenex for a different area.
Right. And for when I'm kicking the shit out of Nazis, they can use that to plug their nose.
Absolutely.
It's a multi-purpose tool.
Hold on, Jaden. We want them to bleed out. Come on.
Oh, well, true.
Yeah,
All right,
you
I
should
got it.
definitely not be taxed on
I got
it.
the one. If you guys smell good, that's what I'm gonna wear today.
Okay.
Okay, here's the deal. You can find this for about $15 at Marshall's. You have to go more than once, but you'll find it. This might have actually been less. You'll find it all the time. Don't buy it from a retailer because it's crazy expensive, but you can get it for about $15. It does not last very long as a scent, but I'm telling you, it's crack. Anyways, this is English Laundry Charmer, which I'm not like a huge English Laundry fan. It's like good, pretty good. Charmer. You're welcome. It's Italian bergamot. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, bergamot is a good smell. I like that note. It's good. Just not too much.
I think I love this. I wish that they made it in an EDP or even a parfum, and I would pay the money for it. I don't know if they could get the same scent out of that, but it's kind of soft, and you have to kind of keep it with you. But it's so good. Oh, it's so good. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Reggie has a great question to lead out on. What about a new candle? I mean, just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You do love those candles.
Just saying.
Oh my god. I haven't even been to Bath and Body Works in forever. But it's funny because my son likes to go and smell the candles sometimes. I haven't been there in a while with him, but yeah, he does like to go and smell the candles. But I haven't bought any candles because they're expensive, and I have enough.
Okay.
What's my favorite? It's probably the teak wood, then the black one, or midnight citrus. I don't know. That's what I got next to me.
Nice.
Anyway, I'm gonna go, and
All
I
right.
will see you guys tomorrow.
Take care, everybody.
Awesome.
See you later. Wait, tomorrow? You're not going live tonight?
No, tonight. Tonight, my bad. Tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Okay. All right. See you then.
All right. Bye. All right, everyone.